Good morning, everybody. We are live yet again talking about the Wheel of Time. I'm excited to talk about the Wheel of Time with you. I'm really excited, in fact. And just waiting for my dear good friend Maui Wu to appear. And she will be here shortly, I assume. Oh, looks like we just got another patron. So I got to update this patron banner. Thank you so much, Roland. Oh my god. Get that in there, shall we? That's right, everybody. See, Roland, the dear, sweet, wonderful person, and we love him very much. So thank you so much. You will now see your name in the scroll of honor. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Charnice. Hi, Marisu. Hello, Too Much Food. I'm glad you're really excited. Not cute. I know we're YouTube partners now, so I'm very happy. Hello, Cruel Wisdom. Yes, yes, I'm so happy we made it. Um, Thank you, Pasut. Now we can receive super chats, I guess. I'm not entirely sure what being a YouTube partner means. It means we can put ads on our videos, which is fun. Maybe make a little bit of Mulakasha, a few Tarvalin marks coming our way. Hello, Neg. Hello, Ulrika. Good evening slash good morning to you too. I've been trying to work on making a little like Patreon subscriber video thing. So that's what I've been doing with my morning. How is everybody else doing? What have you been up to? Whilst we wait for Mary Lou, this welcome to casual first few minutes good morning chat. How is you and everyone? Hey, Sarah. Dark One's Taint. Dark One's Taint. Obviously, we'll be doing some Birdsword tomfoolery today. Today is a Zach day. Hello, Grant. Good morning. Oh, Grant is working. I'm sorry, Grant. I'm working too, I guess, now that I'm a YouTube partner. In a sense, in a sense, this is my job. In another sense, it's not. And in the sense that actually matters and is real, this is not my job. Not cute is spiraling down a rabbit hole of what, as everyone says it, reaction videos. Hello. Just watching the 5th episode for the 3rd time. Cruel Wisdom. Oh my god. Hello, Boggy, and good morning to you. Or good afternoon. I don't know where you are, Boggers. Has the term for a group of bird warriors been decided upon yet? A flock, a murder, or a congress? A flock of bird sword warriors sounds good. A murder of bird sword warriors, of course, sounds very good. I'm into that. But I think we're going to have to let Zach decide what the collective noun is. Dark One's Taint, you love bird sword warriors. Don't even pretend. Ulrika says there is a storm there today. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Oh, no, that sounds lovely. You kept your kids home from school and spent all day watching Christmas movies? Ah, that's fantastic. Hello, Mary Lou.
Hi.
Hello, Danny. Hello, Malik. Just curious, what are our professions outside of YouTube? Good question.
That is a great question for right now,
It's,
especially.
yeah, Mary Lou, what's going on there?
So, sorry, connecting to my AirPods. I am a performer. I'm a singer, professional singer, comedian, actor. And today I have a gig. I do a lot of vintage work, like pinup 1940s jazz, singing, and stuff. And today I have a gig right after our stream. So my hair is in curlers and I haven't done my full beat of makeup yet. Good morning, Too Much Food. So I thought maybe while we were talking, I could do some of my makeup and you can be privy to a little bit of the process that goes into being a pinup model.
A pinup singer.
Singer.
She's not just a model. She's an incredibly talented performer, singer, ukulele player, and Mary Lou actually does an entirely separate stream. Am I allowed to advertise that, Mary Lou?
Yeah, you absolutely are. Yeah, I do a separate stream on Sundays at 2 p.m. for my job, this pinup job. It's called the Satin Dolls. That's dolls with a Z. Sarah, maybe you can type that in the chat. I don't know how to type in the chat.
I think only I have access to do that. But if you
Got it.
pull up the YouTube stream, you can interact in the chat.
Got it. Perfect. It's called Satin Dolls, Dolls with a Z. That's my pinup group. But if you see me on that stream, you please come join us on the stream. We love people. It's a really tight community, kind of like Twitter of time. But I don't go by Mary Lou. I go by my pinup alter ego, which is Ella Rockwell. So if you go on that stream, I will be going by Ella. You can call me Ella. Please don't call me Mary Lou. It's a thing. So if you want to hear me sing on Sundays, that's what I do.
That's what you do. And what I do is I am technically in law school, although the law school might beg to differ at this point because I spend all my time doing Wheel of Time content.
Sarah!
What?
I mean, I'm not mad at it, but like I just like really cannot have you not graduating. Oh,
I
that's good.
just started Adderall today. I've taken my Focus Terangriol, and we'll see if that allows me to pass.
I know. I took my Adderall this morning. It makes a huge difference. Sarah and I are both incredibly neurodivergent and mentally ill. If you couldn't tell already, but we love it. We love it. We're great at it. It's part of why we're such good friends.
Yeah, it's just the ADHD. It's the ADHD that gets us, but that's okay. Hello,
Gets me
my
real good.
mom. My mom is here.
Hi, Mom.
How are you, mother? Okay. Mary Lou, I made
Yes.
us a little Patreon. I'm making us a little Patreon supporters video. So I need you to
Ooh.
entertain the people for like 5 more seconds while I export it.
Okay, so we're taking a hard right turn into a makeup tutorial stream today. One mostly just because I have to do my makeup. and oh, Mauricio says, "Is that blanket the Aja colors?" I think I'm missing yellow, but I do have blue, red, green. There's a black that we'll call gray. And that's it. So I am missing yellow, although there is an orange. We'll call that yellow. And I am missing, that's it, because there's also white. Yes, it is the colors of the Ajas. Yes, it is exactly. So thank you for noticing, Mauricio. Boggy says that's probably why I feel so at home here. Yeah, we're very neurodivergent. We're having fun. Admissions mom says, hello, now I'm distracted while I should be murking.
Mom, don't be distracted
Sorry.
while you should be working.
We do stand Sarah's mom here. I'm blanket Aja, says Dark One's Tate. Kind of bummed me out to realize no purple Aja. Listen, not cute. Listen, I have thought about this extensively. Can I tell you guys my theory? My theory is that at first the gray Aja was purple Aja, right? Because why
Oh,
would you have gray when you could have purple? Right.
true.
And then Robert Jordan was like, but purple is like the colors of royalty. So if you have the diplomacy Aja, the colors of royalty, that would kind of imply that they only deal with like kings and queens and like people of a high status. And we know that's not true. The Grey Aja works with any leaders of any tribes. But one of the corners is folded and that bothers me. So I'm gonna fix it. That's better. So that's my theory, is that purple was the gray Aja, and then Robert Jordan was like, that doesn't make sense for the purpose of this Aja. And so he changed it to gray to be more neutral. And at least that was my thought. And then like, what else would purple be? You know, maybe healing could be purple, but it's better as yellow, the light of the sun, etc. So, oh, Cruel Wisdom says, weren't there more colors before the current 7 were chosen?
There were, I think, yeah, there were indeed. That is
I
true.
would love to know that. Chat, who knows that? Big Bad Hat says, that's a great take, actually. Thank you, Grant. I'm full
Mom
of them.
asks, if I send a sticker, does the money go to you or Google? Good question, Mom. And that allows us to segue into a really, really fun thing. Oh my God, Mom sent a $10 super sticker. that money does go to us because we're YouTube partners now, baby.
Can you hear that,
And
you guys? Did you hear that? We can get
I
money now.
have a lovely mother who loves me very much, and I'm very lucky, and I love her too.
We
Um,
love Carolyn. Do you guys know that Carolyn gave me a job during the pandemic when I had no money and was my unemployment got tied up in the bureaucracy and I had literally zero income, and Carolyn, Sarah's mom gave me a job. She is the best.
she is fantastic,
And if we're
and
honest, I wasn't even really good at that job. I tried really hard, but I wasn't very good at it, and she was still very nice to me.
oh, don't sell yourself short. You
I
were
was good at
fantastic.
I was good at the stuff that we eventually found out I was good at. I was not good at the social media stuff. I'm not good at social media, you guys. I don't like it. I'm not good at it. But that's
Okay,
okay.
that's okay. I believe in you,
Thank you, my
and
love.
yes. All right. I'm exporting. Exporting
Export.
now, everybody, and then you have my full attention. You already have
I
my full attention. I'm focusing on you right now. I'm just focusing on something else for you.
exactly. It's just like it's a delayed reward, right? She's focusing on us in the future. What our reward will be when we get these things. Purple, it should be the therapy, Aja. Lord knows all the I said I desperately need therapy. So it would have been great, but who
They
knows?
really do desperately need therapy.
Ooh, there was
Um,
a succession war between the original Ajas. We don't know what those colors were, though, unfortunately. Oh, Varen is purple Aja was a thing. Tart Monkey, talk to me about that. Why was Varen purple Aja? Because black and brown together make purple. Spoiler. Ajas in the Age of Legends were temporary focus groups once upon a time. They were unlimited in number. I'm not sure if the tower ever followed that or had more than 7. According to the wiki, there were 12 Ajas at first. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, CB. CB says, what if Leandrin is purple now? Love you, Carolyn. Bye. After the
I'm on.
video, talk about Wheel of Time. Well, that's what we do here. We talk Wheel of Time and we have a really good time, as you guys know. So I'm going to turn this off so I can get a better idea of the coverage I'm getting. This gig that I'm doing later is not a huge, like, pressure gig. We do a lot of gigs that are like for retirement homes or for veterans that are like kind of below our pay grade normally. We do it for like dirt cheap, but we do it because we love it. And all of this like, 1940s music is for the greatest generation. A lot of World War II veterans. We don't have a lot left. So we do as many of those as we can because it makes people really happy. And I've got one of those later. So I still have to be, full beat and all that jazz, but I don't have to I'm not going to do my fake lashes like I always do and all that good stuff. Oh my gosh, Malik says, have you guys seen Arcane from Netflix? If not, I strongly recommend it. Listen, Malik.
We
We've
love Arcane
seen
on this
Arcane
channel.
and we love it. So I was actually going to ask Sarah about this and ask you guys because I want to know your opinions. Once the season is over, obviously we'll still be making Wheel of content for the rest of our lives because it's the
Yeah,
best series.
we
And
love
like,
Wheel
what are
of
we going to do?
content.
We will have Wheel of Time. But like, it'd be super fun also to do like maybe reviews of other shows we were thinking. Sarah, your camera disappeared. Okay, it's back.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm here. You have my full focus now. I love
Exciting.
all of you, and you're all my favorites, and you're my best friends, and I love you very much.
Yes,
And
it's all
I'm
true.
here.
And
Oh, I did it
so
again.
I was going to ask you guys if we reviewed other shows, and by if I mean like we totally are going to, which ones would you see first? My top 3 choices are Arcane, Cowboy Bebop, and Foundation. Ooh, it's like black and white, my love.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Yes, we are going to talk about Arcane, but that's for after the Wheel of Time. And we would also love to talk about other content. I mean, I have some thoughts on the
Yeah.
Matrix. I
Oh yeah. So like which one would you guys want to see first? Like which show do you want to see us go through and review as if we were, watching it like a season? We'd probably do like an episode per every 1 or 2 episodes or something like that. Which one would you guys want to see first?
Elden Ring. Elden Ring, Grant says.
The
Well,
hell is Elden Ring, Grant?
Elden Ring is an upcoming action role-playing game developed by From Software and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment.
Cool.
Elden Ring takes place in the realm of the lands between. Sometime after the destruction of the titular Elden Ring and the scattering of its shards, also known as the Great Runes. This is
It's a
the game.
game?
It's a Dark Souls like franchise game or that same company, but written
Oh.
by George R. R. Martin.
What? Oh, that's the George R. R. Martin game. Okay, for
Oh my
sure.
god, are you gonna make us talk about the Hobbit trilogy? Uh, um,
I don't I don't
Marisu,
know.
Marisu, you do not know how much I love this comment.
Oh my fucking god.
Ah,
Marisu,
Marisu.
you don't even know what you just did.
Marisu, I love this comment. Thank
We
you
have a
so
thing
much.
about Hannah. Hannah might be good television. It just might be. That is entirely true. However, Amazon wants me to watch Hannah so bad. Their advertising is everywhere. It comes to me in my sleep. They like email it to me. I get it
Yeah,
in like snail mail. They mail me like I need to watch Hannah. They show up and they whisper it in my ear at night. There's too much Hannah advertisement in my personal life. Like I don't know if anybody else gets as much Hannah advertisement as I freaking do. I get so much. And my friends Rob and my friend Sarah absolutely torture me with this fact.
it's
And
true.
they haunt me with Sarah, with Hannah.
With Hannah.
So
Yep. Speaking of haunting you, can I make this transition? Okay. Speaking of haunting you, Mary Lou,
yes.
and then I'm gonna something about phantoms, and
Okay.
phantom sounds like
Phantom.
pantomime.
Okay.
And okay,
I'm with you.
pantomimes, you know who
Yep.
did pantomimes?
Who?
Performers during the
Yes.
Renaissance.
That's right.
And you know what else performers during the Renaissance had?
Um
That's right, Mary Lou, they had patrons. So, yes,
patrons. That's exactly what I was going to
so,
say.
I let's, because of that very natural transition, let's give a quick little thank you to some of our patrons.
You ready? You ready for the song?
And I spent this is what happens when I take Adderall, and I'm like, "I'm gonna do law school," and instead I just do this shit.
We don't mind. Oh my god. Yes. Uh. Ooh.
Thank you, patrons. That's it. That's all I got for you.
Yes. Wow.
Um,
I
isn't
love
that
that.
great?
Yeah,
Isn't
that
that
was great.
wonderful?
Yes,
What
it
a
was.
walk we just took you down. Okay, but just because we also have to do the real one. Mary Lou, do you want to do the song, or I can do the song while you're doing makeup?
I want to do the song. I can
All
do
right,
the song.
time for the
Don't take
patron song. You ready?
Babs,
Wait.
Ash.
Okay.
Well, oh, took it away.
Oh, sorry. Here we go.
Babs, Ash, back that ass up. Natalie McCartney, Paige Smith, Balance Gaming, Catherine Fank, Mistress Dovier,
Katie,
Katie, DES, Marissa Swank, and Roland
boys.
Boise.
That's
Roland,
right.
Roland, tell me how to say your name, please.
Um. Oh, that's right. Roland, I assume your last name is Boyce, but correct us if we're
Boise.
wrong. Yes, the music has been added. Not as smooth as episode three's Dark Pals Blood to Forest transition, but you'll take it. I appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
That is a wild transition. When we first saw it in the trailer, I was like, wow, that's so cool. And then in the episode, I was like, whoa, this is like fucking wild.
Yeah, it's very
Um,
like surreal and trippy.
yes. But thank you so much to our patrons for allowing us to keep doing these streams. And y'all can find us on patreon.com/maidens of the spear if you really want to.
I don't know if you're like
But
interested in that kind of thing.
I don't know if you're interested in that kind of thing. But I know what you might be interested in, which is knowing that our good friend Zach Reno, aka Birdsword Warrior Zach, will be joining us on the stream shortly.
He will be joining us shortly. So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I'm so excited. I love talking to Zach.
Yeah, he's maybe the funniest person I know.
But before he gets in here, Mary Lou,
Yeah.
any spoilery thoughts? Okay, this has a phoneme that doesn't occur in English. So I'm
Ooh,
gonna
we
assume
love a
it's something
challenge.
like
Let's hear it, baby.
bus.
Buse?
I don't know. I'm embarrassing myself. Okay. Um, do we have
What
any final spoilery thoughts before
what's the
Zach
language
takes
of
care?
origin for Busa? Sorry. Okay. Spoilery thoughts. I had a thought about episode 5 and it's that we didn't talk about and it's like almost instantly left my mind. Ooh, we can talk about the castings.
The new castings, that's right.
Blonde Uno, friggin' smoking ass Masima, and just maybe looks like the nicest, most angelic Ingtar I've ever seen in my entire life. He look like he. I think I would like die for him. He looks like an angel. So I think I'm really excited for that Ingtar. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Even for one such as me, I am really excited for that. I think with that casting of Masima, that tells me they are not cutting the Prophet storyline, which I
Oh,
think is
yeah.
really interesting. I'm glad they didn't cut it because I saw some talk that people were like, they could cut that storyline. And yeah, they could, and it would be clean. However, I think the Prophet storyline is a really good example of, you know, people who think they're good,
If you
but
missed the
do
new
bad
casting,
things.
I just ripped this graphic from Woat Series' website, so thank you very much, Woat Series. And we've got, from left to right, Uno Masima Ingtar, baby. Look at him. Look at him go. And, Guy Roberts, who plays Uno, has been reading The Wheel of Time since 1990.
I saw that tweet and it made me so happy. Like, what a perfect casting for a book fan, right? Uno, a fan favorite, to be a
Yeah.
book fan, like is like it's just it feels right, you know. But I'm excited for the Prophet storyline because that's gonna show us, right, like kind of what the White Cloaks are in the books. They're not so much this in the show, but yes, his different colored eyes,
I
one
missed
brown, one
that.
green. Yeah, no, he's a little like upsettingly hot. Like he's intense, you know, which I think is like perfect for Masima. The White Cloaks are not so much this in the show, you know, where like some of them think they're doing good, but they're bad, you know. And the
Right.
White Cloaks in the show are just like pretty freaking bad.
Yeah.
But I think the Prophet is going to be a really good example of like, you know, people who say they follow the dragon but are like doing massive amounts of harm. And that's going to be a
Alan
great
Bird,
challenge for man.
thank you so much. Now Mary Lou can go get a coffee this morning. Mary
Alan
Lou,
Bird.
thank you so much. You mean so much to us too,
You
Alan
mean
Bird, and
so
we love
much to
you.
us. Do you guys understand like how much fun we have when we get to talk to you about this kind of stuff? Like this is literally our wildest dreams come true that we get to like hang out and talk nerd shit with you guys.
It's the best thing
So
ever.
thank you so much. And even though we do have jobs, what I like to call money
I
hobbies,
mean, I don't have a job. I'm a student.
you don't have a job. That is true. I have a job. This is what we would rather be doing for the rest of our lives. So, thank you very
Well,
much. We
Alan
really
Bird, thank you
appreciate
so
that.
much for sending us your first ever super chat. That is our first time receiving a super chat.
It's true.
So it's very exciting. We're so pumped.
We lost
I'm
our
I'm
super
really
chat together.
I'm really fucking pumped for the Masima storyline. I
Yeah,
think it would be crazy to cut it. Like the end times, how can you not have a prophet cult storyline, especially in the fucking age of QAnon? You know,
I
like
know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's gonna be a lot, right? Like I don't know. I'm very excited for it. I just remember them talk like if you took that storyline out, it would be very clean. You know, it's not like especially like plot essential, but I think it's actually very essential to like themes. I'm like nervous now
for Galad.
for Galad. I'm nervous, you guys.
Marissa, my mom sent a super sticker, but thank you. Uh, that was my first super
Let's be
sticker, and
accurate.
Alan's
Let's
is
be
my first super chat.
let's be
Christopher,
accurate
thank
here.
you so much. Oh God, we love y'all so much. Honestly, like getting to sit I've been reading The Wheel of Time since I was 14 and like never had any Wheel of Time friends.
Yeah.
And then
Was I your
it
first Wheel of Time friend?
no,
Besides like the
I
message boards.
well, I had friends on like tarvalin.net and stuff growing up, but real life friends, not that internet friends aren't real friends, but I was under a pseudonym and everything there. My college girlfriend Red was a Wheel of Time fan. Um and that's like why I dated her. I was like, "Oh fuck, you've read The Wheel of Time? We're dating."
We're
And then I
dating.
made
Okay,
Maddie
cool.
read The Wheel of Time, but that was after you'd already read it. So you're the first friend I successfully convinced to read The Wheel of Time, and I just love
And
having a chance to talk to all y'all about it. It's like been so important in my life, and I know it has in so many people's lives, and it's really incredible to get to do this.
Um, and Christopher, I want you to tell you that it means a lot that you say that we have super insightful takes because we do really think really hard about like our takes and stuff. And though I know we are also incredibly silly, and like that's the fun part. But like we love thinking about this series like
Oh yeah,
as something very serious because it is and it's fun. So thank you for saying that. Finding that balance of being like silly and serious is like so fun. So thank you,
yeah.
everyone.
It's been funny because we get all these like when we get YouTube comments critiquing us and the people who go to defend us, which we appreciate you so much, but they're like, "This is a comedy channel. Don't take it too seriously." And is it a comedy channel? 100%. Mary Lou and I are
Definitely.
both comedians, but we like to think we have good takes too. Uh,
Yeah, we do. We're both
um,
very smart, educated, well thought out people.
yeah,
So
but anyway, just yes, the Missima storyline. I think there's a lot of room to do better. I think it was the right instinct in the books, but I don't think he really had time to develop it to deliver well. Um,
and I think honestly, I think the White Cloaks were like kind of doing that in the books. We were kind of
yeah,
getting that with Galad, with you know, some of the other White Cloaks. Well, I actually can't think of any that are like mean well and are not the worst ever, but you know what I mean.
um, will we learn who is puppeting Missima, or will he be acting independently now? That is a great question.
Great question. I would prefer it if he was not being puppeted by anyone.
Really,
Yeah.
I think. Um, is the sound going through your headphones, Mary Lou? I'm getting echo. But
It is going through my it is, right? Let me hold on. Say something?
hello, testing. I'm
Yeah, it
testing.
is headphones.
Okay, cool, cool.
Sometimes I can't tell you guys. So she actually has a good point. Sometimes I'm like got my AirPods in and then I realize that it's actually coming out of my speakers. So she
Yes.
has a good point.
Um. Oh, Pentor Tash says the Breaking Origin episode said Luther and Telamon killed his family, his friends, and his cult, which is
His
interesting.
cult?
I love it. I'll let y'all in on a little secret.
I missed that.
We I haven't watched any of the Origins videos
Oh, I have.
because I know we only have like 3 more episodes of The Wheel of Time, season 1, and I've been saving them as special little content to watch live with everyone.
That's what we should do. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So I've been watching them and I'll keep us abreast, but we'll save those for later when the season is over. We'll save those as live reactions with Sarah. That sounds really fun.
Yeah. Um, oh, Pasut is now a patron. Oh my god, y'all. Thank you
Shut
so much,
up!
Pasut.
Casa,
Ah, we
thank
love
you.
everyone. We love all of you. You're all
Yes, we
the
do.
best. And speaking of the best, we got the best sitting in the waiting room right now, ready to
No
come in.
way.
Zach Reno. Hello,
There he
hello.
is.
Guys, Wheel of Time's got wolf magic in it now.
Yes, it
Hell
Wow.
yeah.
We're all
certainly
excited
does,
about it.
Amy. Yes, it does. Are
We're
you
excited for the
excited?
wolf magic.
Ow, ow, ow. Ooh, Mary Lou,
Oh,
this your makeup tutorial channel?
It is my makeup tutorial channel. Thank you so much for noticing. I do have a gig later and I did not wake up early enough. So I will be doing my makeup on the stream. Thank you.
And it's so nice to know that this is sort of like a working prep stream and that if I do sort of have like some stuff that I need to work on, that I can do it while doing this, which is just
Yeah, absolutely.
so nice. You guys are
Absolutely.
both y'all are both extremely camera ready, and I am
oh.
putting on a hat to sort of deal with
But
my less camera readiness. So
I
you
think
both
you look
look beautiful. You both look
amazing.
beautiful. I'm happy to be here.
oh, we're so always so happy to have you. Zach, I'm fucking loving this sweater you're wearing today.
Yeah,
Thank
wow.
you. It's
You know what
very
it's giving me?
knives out.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's giving me Chris Evans and Knives Out. That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say.
Why do you that is the reason it was acquired in the first place, was during
Excellent.
the Chris Evans Knives Out era. I was like, I actually do think I want a big sort of chunky sweater.
Looks
And you
great.
were right. You were right because you look amazing.
Oh, thanks,
I
y'all.
mean, you look like you'd fit right in the two rivers.
That was sort of my other thought. I was like, it is sort of funny how the clothing in this show is both extremely Buffalo Exchange thrift shop while simultaneously being Lord of the Rings.
A little bit,
Lord of the Rings
right?
meets Buffalo Exchange, which
Right?
might be a regional reference. I apologize, YouTube viewers.
Buffalo
Um,
Exchange, they have them in Houston at least. I know that.
They have them all over the country, but we do have some viewers that are not in America. So Buffalo
Wow.
Exchange is like an incredibly hip, like upscale thrift store. So it's like a consignment store. So it's all used clothes and clothing, but they're like incredibly picky about like what fashion they're representing.
You bring them clothes to resell, and they're like, "Thank you so much for bringing in these clothes. We're actually not taking any of them.
We're
Yeah.
gonna throw them away.
We are
They
gonna."
say thank you, but no thank you. This is garbage.
It's a little
Yeah.
easier if you're a man, because men's taste in clothing is generally a little bit less discerning. So you can
That is true.
bring them an old T-shirt, and they'll be like, "Actually, yes, we will
Yeah.
sell this to a different idiot who will buy this old T-shirt."
Yeah.
But it's
It's
impossible to give them anything these days. You'd think they'd want it. No, turns out they don't want it.
Turns out, no.
Speaking of Buffalo Exchange, I'm trying to pull up a picture that I took today on my morning walk
Oh,
to go get oat milk because we were out of oat milk and I need a latte in the morning.
oh my gosh. Do you understand how much oat milk they go through? When I was up there in San Francisco, they got like 6 cartons of oat milk at once. We went to
So
the grocery store exclusively for oat milk and they got 6 cartons.
Don't judge me.
I'm not judging. I'm
It's
stating
just-
facts.
these are just facts about how
These
much
are
oat
these are
saying
these are
facts.
facts. Yeah, that's true.
y'all consume. So, what are we trying to avoid? Dairy? What's the
I am
what
lactose
here?
intolerant.
She is
And
lactose intolerant. It fucks up
also,
her bowels.
At this point, I just like prefer the taste of oat milk.
I
And
love oat milk.
I think for those of you that haven't indulged, oat milk is, I think, a great sub.
Oat
Truly
milk
feels like
supremacy. It
yeah.
is superlative.
because I like am lactose intolerant and I don't consume dairy, when I do have a latte that has real milk in it, I know immediately because I'm like, this milk tastes like cheese. This latte tastes like cheese to
Oh,
me.
Okay.
that's very interesting.
Unless you're looking for a cheese drink, that might not be the sort of vibe you're going for.
That's not usually the vibe I'm going
Not
for.
usually the vibe.
Although, now that I think about it, I'm not closed off to it.
Yes, CB, oat milk does exist and it is so good. Check it out. And I'm pretty sure it's more environmentally sustainable than like almond milk. So I don't know. Check it out.
It is more environmentally sustainable than almond milk.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
it is impossible for me to get this picture onto my PC from my iPhone for some reason.
Of oat milk?
text it to yourself.
My text isn't on the thing.
Email it to yourself.
I put it on the Discord.
Oh. Well, I tried.
I guess
You
we're
tried.
moving on.
And I love you so much for it. Zach Reino.
Sarah Kaplan.
What? Oh, I did it. Look at this coat. My dear sweet
Oh
wonderful
my
girlfriend
fucking God.
Magu found at a thrift store in New Jersey over
Spe-
Thanksgiving.
Speaking of wheel of time appropriate clothing.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is giving me Nynaeve. This is very like Nynaeve,
Yes.
but mixed with Rand's shepherd
And
jacket.
was that worth the 5 minutes I took up trying to show it to you? Yes, it was.
I mean, for me, I had seen that. I forget what medium. Maybe
I tweeted it out.
I
This
did
I
see
hadn't
this
seen
picture
it.
somewhere. Yes, but
Yes. I know it is 90 vibes and I love it so much. Maddie found
Very
it. She
much.
sent me a picture of it from the thrift store. She's like, look at this. I found it. And then I was like, buy it. And she's like, oh, we already left the thrift store. I forced her to go back to the store and buy it for me.
Good. Yes.
and that's a partnership.
That's
I'm glad you
partnership.
did.
Speaking of Wheel of Time clothing, Zach Reino, for you specifically, I designed a couple shirts last night.
Okay.
Yeah,
know what
so
that
we
means.
got some
Bird,
merch, y'all.
Sword.
We got bird sword shirts now. We got a
Love
bird
how
sword warrior shirt.
My being an idiot has now influenced your brand. Bird, sword, warrior.
Bird sword fucking warrior.
I'm so honored.
Good. Yeah. If y'all want to buy those,
You
can.
can.
I mostly made them for fun because I
Great.
like doing graphic design. But you can also buy them.
I guess I have a bunch of shirts I have to go buy now.
Oh no, Zach, I'm gonna buy you one as a present
Well,
for
that's
always being a guest on our stream.
unnecessary, but I'll look through them and I'll shop. I'll do a little late Hanukkah shopping for myself or early Christmas shopping.
Definitely. So do you want to get into it? Talk about some episode 5?
Yeah.
Let's.
Zach,
I do have to leave early. I'm sorry for my gig.
Oh.
Blah blah blah. You get it. But...
and I have to stay late, so it should balance out.
And Aero just joined us on Patreon. Thank you so much, Aero. Oh, we love all of y'all are the fucking best.
Yeah, this rocks. You guys are the awesomest.
You're the awesomest. And here's our Patreon while I'm at it. While I'm doing promotion, why not? Hey, we're YouTube partners now, baby. We can promote.
Can you believe that?
Zach, do you want to do our little official YouTube intro? Do you feel like you can do it?
Welcome to Maidens of the Sphere, a Wheel of Time immersive experience with wonderful hosts Sarah Kaplan and Mary Lou, where we have a really good time and we talk about the Wheel of Time.
Really great time, and you did a really good job, Zach.
Thank you.
Really good job.
I am Sarah. This is my beautiful co-host, Mary Lou, and we are joined by our wonderful non-reader friend, Zach Reino, whom you might know from Off Book and a million other hilarious musical comedy things. Zach, you haven't read The Wheel of Time.
I haven't, and I refuse to.
And you refuse to. But Zach, you've been watching The Wheel of Time.
I've watched all 5 episodes of this bad boy.
What are you giving me, like, gut response episode 5? Oh, you had one when you came in.
Oh yeah, we got wolf magic, baby.
We got wolf magic.
Oh, it was one of those things where I was like, because we had talked about it before, and I can't tell how much of it is the two. You sort of like gently road signing me into like helping me figure out things before they've happened, or if I was just like, this guy's got wolves. Yeah, see, look at those eyes. That's wolf magic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now, you're very much not trying to road sign you, and I don't think we did on that one. That one, I think you got there.
I mean,
I think you got there yourself.
Yeah, well, yes, I'm a hashtag never reader. That's right. And again, it's not because I don't want to; it's because I can't read. It's difficult for someone in the writer's profession, but I get by. And I am excited about this. I always love when this show did this, where like he got all big and wolfy, and then torturer guy was his name, who got stabbed in the neck, but is definitely not dead because he didn't get stabbed in the neck good enough, which is a bummer. Because if someone was trying to kill me like that, I think I probably would finish the job if I had the wherewithal to put it in his neck in the first place, which it seems like our friend.
Do you remember?
What's her name?
It starts with a G.
It does not.
It does. Egwene.
There we go.
I always want to call her just like Gwen. It's not her name.
Yeah. And we keep telling you can't do that because that is somebody else's name.
That's right.
You haven't met him yet.
It's not a name. It's not her name.
It is a name.
Yeah, she was like, I definitely want to put a knife in this guy's neck. She did not double tap, and that is, I think she's gonna regret that ultimately. Here's a question that occurred to me as I was watching this. Her name is Gawain. Her name's Gwen. Gwen's World, Magic Time, excellent. Ooh.
Boggy, new patron, Boggy. Thank you so much, Boggy.
Boggy, great job.
Boggy.
So here's my question. The rules of being, and I'm sorry you have to keep telling me this. I was like, we don't lie.
Don't lie.
We don't make magic weapons.
Don't make magic weapons.
And we don't use the magic to kill people.
Right.
Correct.
But the rule is not we don't kill people. The rule is just that we don't use magic to kill people.
You're thinking about Egwene throwing the fireball?
I'm wondering.
Yes.
I'm wondering about Egwene using the knife. I'm saying
can stab a man for sure.
Absolutely.
We can cut people. We just don't use magic to cut people.
Correct.
Right.
However, you got to remember, Egwene has not taken these oaths.
Yes. No, I knew that. I was sort of wondering, like, she could use magic to kill people all day.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, no problem. But I was wondering if she was an Aes Sedai, if she could like still be like, well, I am gonna put magic in your I'm gonna put this non-magical knife in your neck.
Correct.
So the guy did
totally fine.
So then the thing happened that I really liked, which was what's his name? Saw, the Saw guy, the guy doing
Child
Saw inside the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, who I think is doing an incredible job as an actor, because I really hate his character so
Deeply.
much.
Yeah.
But I can't figure out if I also hate the way the show is doing it. Is like,
I'll tell you, Zach, I do.
Torture porn is
Yeah,
like
she
not
does.
my thing. It is not
No.
why I'm here. I'm here for wolf magic, not for human centipede. I don't
Yeah.
like Saw, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But I will say, when his name's not Pippin, Perrin, when Perrin is all like, "Aroo, I'm actually a big strong wolf now," Child Valda, is that his name?
That's
You've
right.
now said it 3 times, was like, "What are you?" And my brain was like, "Okay, good. You actually haven't mentioned what this is yet, and I haven't missed something. There's just
No.
new wolf magic now."
Correct.
Yeah, there's new wolf magic.
Another,
I don't like the torture porn either. It really bothers me. Like, if you're gonna have Child Valda torture Parent in the scene, I guess okay, but I don't need the close up shot on the back being sliced.
I don't need really to see any of it to know
Yeah.
that it has happened, and I actually also don't want to watch it. I thought that
Yeah.
was when Game of Thrones at its sort of most egregious was that for
Yeah.
me. I liked
Correct.
Game of Thrones, and I actually did read Game of Thrones, but I thought that like there do feel like there are times when they are doing
Too much.
when they're like trying to get an article written about the show and how like edgy it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to me, that smacked of an Amazon exec being like, I need to see it. I want to see the blood because we need to show that it's like gritty and like, yeah, we're not afraid to go there. You know, that smacks of an exec note to me.
Yeah.
That they like wanted it, which is so strange to me because I don't think that is what the fantasy fan base is generally in it for. Emotional torture porn is a different thing.
Yeah,
Like
that
we
Wheel
love
of Time.
a will they won't they for forever. And like that's okay.
I mean,
Totally.
there is a lot of torture in the Wheel of Time. Like, the Wheel of Time is a story about trauma, and some of that is physical abuse. But the books don't revel in it. Like, it doesn't revel in the description. It's not like joyous. It is like
Very factual.
It is presented as awful, and I didn't like the like fetishization of it in that scene myself.
Yeah, it always feels like a little bit Hannibal Lecter with this character particularly, who's always like putting his knife in his mouth
Yeah.
and like
Yeah, and
eating something,
monologuing.
getting someone like cleaned before he does it. It feels icky in an insane way.
Yeah. The cleaning scene I found very effective because it was so matter of fact and was so awful and like distasteful. It wasn't sexy at all.
Yes,
right?
I don't feel like they have crossed the line into it being gratuitously sexual. It's just
Or titillating.
Yes, it doesn't feel male gazy. It just feels it's just not why I'm here. It didn't break the show for me. I was
Right,
like,
right.
okay, I get that this is what we're doing, but it did make me be like, I'm actually not super interested in this part from like a storytelling.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's okay for it to happen narratively. I just don't want to have to look at it because it it gives me shivers.
And it's like, how many times are we going to do it? Because this character was introduced to us in this way, and now we're
Yeah.
doing it. Now we're doing it again. So like, I think twice is okay because now we know it's a pattern. If they do it again, I think I'm going to start to be like, yeah, we get it. He tortures people.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want
he's a
him
bad
going
guy.
Ramsey, where like Ramsey was like, okay, I get it. He's an evil, sadistic bastard.
Right.
Like, I don't need to see him feed a baby to dogs again, know?
Or even one time, to be totally honest.
Really, it was like, I got it. I get it, you guys. Like, oh, to what depths can he reach? I can imagine.
But
I can't imagine.
On a little more positive note, Zach, just because I don't like thinking about Eamon Valda.
Yeah, moving on.
No, we can move back to the beginning.
What do you think the wolf magic? Well, okay. All right. You're right. All right. We'll do this chronologically. We'll start at the beginning.
We'll get back to wolf magic.
No. We'll get there. Okay. So we got a funeral.
A lot of sadness in this one.
Very sad
in this episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this episode was almost entirely like an emotional journey rather than like a plot heavy episode.
Yeah, although we did also, and I guess we'll get to it, we did meet the show's greatest characters so far.
We'll get there.
Great. Look at this big, nice circle. This is
Yeah.
how I want to be buried if I
And
wasn't getting cremated in a big circle.
What something Vic pointed out to me that I hadn't even like consciously recognized is I think Karenni is the only loss on the Aes Sedai campsite. But
Yes.
they're burying her, the Commander General, the Green Aja, just with the rest of these dragon sworn soldiers who, were attacking the camp. And it's cool. In death.
Yes, it was nice to be when they were burying everyone the same, which was like these are not enemy. We don't treat enemy combatants, I guess, differently, which I thought was
servants of all. Yeah.
Yes. Wait, what's the M word? Oh no. Oh no. Am I using an M word? Sad. Okay. Then we skip. Did you notice this was 1 month later?
I did, because they put this up on the screen and it said
I
it was 1 month later.
I did not, and you know what? Vic didn't either, and we were the only two people in the world, but at least we could enjoy that together. So Marisu doesn't like the word magic. Okay.
I have bad news for you. There is actually a fair amount of magic in this series.
Yes. Okay, so let's do Egwene and Perrin
Wait,
first.
did I not remember it?
What?
Yeah, the one yes, because the 1 month later is directly after the funeral, and then we cut to they're at the White Tower.
Yeah.
Basically.
Or they're walking there, yeah.
Walking into it, yeah.
Yeah. So we had do you remember the name of this people?
Leaf friends. The
Leaf friends.
There we go. So they do follow the way of the leaf. We had our little non-violent resistance wall.
Worked about as well as those usually do.
Yeah. Did you see these faces? I love these faces.
Oh, whoa. That's cool. Is that some like lore stuff about what's around the outside of the city?
Kind of like in the book when you're walking through a forest, like suddenly there's just always like a stone statue of like a woman with a scepter or like a man.
Because we're post-apocalypse Earth, so there's like stuff left behind. Okay, awesome. So this is like this is Mount Rushmore, but smaller and in the bottom of a mountain.
Right, exactly.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Then they get captured. Our boy Aram gets knocked the fuck out.
He got bonked real good.
Here's a question that narratively I didn't super understand. So they show up with the Leaf people, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna go through the white dude's guard right now." And he's like, "Wait a minute, I've seen you two before." But like, I don't know why that's a red flag that he's like seeing people again, because the last time he saw them, they weren't like doing anything wrong, and now they're also not doing anything wrong. So I don't really understand why he was like, I need to tie up these guys.
I think, because I thought the same thing. I think one, they have that cop thing where they ran. So if you ran, you must have done something bad. So like then you get them, right? Because he's like, I want to talk to you. You come here, and they run, and he's like, okay, get them. They're bad guys. One, there's that, and then two, I think because it proved to him that they were lying, right? They're no longer with this woman who said that they were her wards, right? They are somewhere off doing something else.
I forgot what they were, what the people that weren't her said they were the last time they met.
Yeah. My take on that scene was that I think Valda knew Moraine was Aes Sedai before, because one thing he tells us in this episode is he knows that Aes Sedai can't lie. So the fact that he didn't ask Moraine outright, are you an Aes Sedai, I think was intentional for reasons that aren't fully clear yet. But I think like he knew she was Aes Sedai and just didn't want to take her in at that moment.
I don't think that makes any sense. That's the wildest thing I've ever said. I mean, why? Like, he had the full army. She had one guy.
So one thing they hint at in episode 2 that isn't made super clear yet, but I'll tell you, like, there is a division within the White Cloaks between the questioners. Valda's a questioner. They do the torture, and the rest of the White Cloaks who don't.
Yes, they seem to not like each other super much.
Yeah, so I think he didn't want to take Moraine in when that other commander was there, because then he wouldn't have like free reign to do all his torture. That's my take. But I don't know, because the way the White Cloaks are interacting with these characters is different in the show, so I don't actually know.
I did not get the impression in that scene like we were supposed to believe that Moraine's lying had been ineffective. It seemed like the whole point of that scene was like, these are the ways in which Aes Sedai lie and like get away with it, and here's the way that they do it, by lying that are with ways that are not lies.
Yeah, because Sarah, I think that he might have been being sarcastic, right? Somebody says this, Articus says this, and I thought this too when I first heard it. Sarcastic when he's talking with Egwene, where she says, "I'm not an Aes Sedai," and he's like, "Well, we know you can't lie about that, right?" And he's like, "Oh, then it must be true, right?" Because he's like, "Bullshit, Aes Sedai can't lie." So, like, you could tell me whatever the heck you wanted, and I'm still not going to believe you.
Oh, because they don't believe that the Aes Sedai can't lie.
Well, that was how we justified him not asking that question in the first place. Because if they know Aes Sedai can't lie, then just not asking outright, "Are you an Aes Sedai?" is dumb.
Yeah.
Although, as Dark Ones points out, taking on an Aes Sedai head-on is suicide, and even for the White Cloaks, and it is usually described, like, in the books, when Aes Sedai are in danger of being captured by White Cloaks, it is always a sneak attack or an ambush.
Yeah. The show has not... Everything about the way that they prepared when coming up to that group of White Cloaks did not infer to me that Moraine was like, I can just walk through these people. If they know I'm an Aes Sedai, they will stay the fuck out of my way. Everything about it was like, we cannot let them figure out who we are. We're going to hide the ring. We're going to hide everything, because if we have to fight them, I don't know. I buy that as like a book thing. It doesn't appear to that's the sort of narrative story that they are showing.
Yeah.
They're making it seem like, because you were saying that the White Cloaks are, in the books, not a force that the Aes Sedai are particularly worried about. They're
not
like
really.
They're like not so scary.
Yeah.
They are in this series made out to be the biggest threat to... They're literally hunting Aes Sedai. And, and we've only ever seen Aes Sedai lose to them.
Yeah. It's a shift. And the fact that they are, like, the fact that Eamon Valda feels so free to do that to a woman he thinks can channel right outside of Tar Valon, which is the capital of Aes Sedai power.
Seemed brazen, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty brazen. So. Okay, you guys, I gotta go. I love you so much.
Goodbye, Mary Lou. Break so many people's legs.
Break legs. We'll see you around.
I will. Bye.
Yes. Yeah, it's brazen, and I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see where they go. Like, I don't think it's a story-breaking thing. I think it's just to provide some extra tension to season 1 before the rest of the enemies have time to grow.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. It feels like a sort of like early stage villain that will probably get past and then move on to some bigger villains.
Yeah.
It's also like something, what with the, not to get too ahead of it, but like wolf magic is an indication that's like, oh, there's all sorts of stuff going on here. We haven't told you about all. Yeah.
Let's talk about wolf magic, because we talked about the torture and we talked about the scrubbing. So Perrin gets his golden eyes, and he is known in the books as Perrin Golden Eyes from this point forward.
Eyes of the wolf.
Yeah. What do you think's going on here? How would you describe his wolf magic?
He's a wolf wizard. He's got all the powers of wolves, and he controls the wolves, and he's Lord of the Wolves. Perrin the Wolf Lord.
Perrin the Wolf Lord.
He probably gets real strong like a wolf. I can smell real good like a wolf, and fight with swords like if a wolf had a sword.
Yeah.
He's a wolf sword warrior.
He's a wolf sword warrior.
No, I don't know. Like, I mean, yeah. The part that's crazy to me, not in a bad way, is that like you would think that like all of the seeds of whatever this is not something that is as common as being a channeler, right? Because this dude had no idea what he was dealing with here, and no one has mentioned it in any way, shape, or form. Although I bet the Aes Sedai know about it, because that seems like the kind of thing that they would know about. I'm hoping No, nothing beats a bird sword warrior. Only bird sword warrior is the apex of combat and also birds. Cat sword warrior. Cat sword warrior beats bird sword warrior. Bird sword warrior beats fish sword warrior. Fish sword warrior beats plankton sword warrior.
I think it might be like a rock paper scissors thing, like cat sword beats bird sword
That's
beats
what I was
wolf
trying
sword.
to do, but as I was going down, it didn't sort of loop back around.
We
got to a paper rock situation when it's like, wait, paper beats rock? Yeah.
No, cat sword beats bird sword beats wolf sword, and wolf sword beats cat sword.
Now, why does bird sword? You know how in the wild when a sparrow shows up and a wolf is just like, "Fuck, I gotta get out of here before this bird kills me."
I think the bird sword, the bird can fly, and the wolf cannot.
That's an excellent point, Sarah. The bird can fly, and the wolf cannot fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I think what other power? I mean, like, the question is, I'm on it. I'll write that book for you. I got it. Can't read, but I can write, so it's not a problem.
Yeah.
I think.
And Zach, just to foreshadow for you a bit, there are also kind of some snake sword warriors to come.
Yeah, well, that makes sense because swords are basically the snakes of weaponry, except for maybe whips. I guess whips are maybe closer to snakes than swords, but swords are pretty long and straight, sort of like snakes, and sometimes curvy.
Yes, but sorry, Zach, I interrupted you.
Not about anything important. I was just wondering, like, is this a full werewolf scenario? That feels too... I was going to say it feels too done, and then I'm remembering when Wheel of Time was written.
Yeah, it was predated the werewolf craze.
Right? So, like, it absolutely could be the thing. It could be like, I turn into a big wolf boy, which does seem to see, like, what's sort of happening here. Not like full Harry Potter werewolf, but like more, or like Twilight werewolf, but more somewhere in between. Man beast with the powers of wolf, which I guess is werewolf.
Yeah. I'm happy to tell you as much as you want, Zach.
I want to hear nothing.
Yeah, I figured.
Unless you think it's not going to show up. You can tell me anything that you don't think is showing up here, but I think it's probably too early to say.
It's too early to say what if his wolf magic will be brought into the show.
I want to hear all. I know here's what the show is telling me, but later I'm going to hear all about wolf magic and what it is.
Yeah.
And I assume that is true.
I think you will. I did make an animated video called Lord Perrin based on the Brad Neely Washington video. I can play that for you. I think it might give you some hints, but also I think not spoil things.
I trust your judgment.
Would you like to watch it?
I trust your judgment.
All right. Let's see. I think it's absurd enough that you won't know what is real and what is not.
Okay. I'm very discerning.
That's true.
We're gonna play video. Yeah.
This is too loud.
Nope. Oh my gosh.
Lord Perrin, 6'8", weighs a friggin' ton. Opponents beware, He's sniffing.
Yep,
Let me lay it on the line, he had 2 on the vine. I mean 2 sets of golden eyes, so divine. With a wolf made of crystal, he patrolled the dream. With his battle axe and hammer and his perfect memes. Here comes Perrin, in control. Women dig his sniffs and his gallant stroll. 8 opponents spring. It's just a wee Vigway. He's sniffing. Lord Perrin, 6'20", fixing wagons for fun. Sean beware, Shido beware. He's sniffing. Sue me if you can understand, but the 1st of May wished that he was her man. Got a beard for his beard, got a wolf in his heart. He'll kick you apart. Ooh, he'll save children, but not the white cloak children. He'll save children, but not the white cloak children. He'll save children, but not the white cloak children. He'll save children, but not the white cloak children. He had a pocket full of noses, had an ass made of steel. He was quieter than Gaul until he yells at Fail. He made love like a wolf falling out of the sky, killed Slayer in a duel, and he never said why. Lord Perrin, Lord Perrin, 12 stories high, made of radiation. Forsaken beware, the Dark One beware. He's sniffing, he's sniffing, he's sniffing. Did I mention his 4 eyes? Well, he also had 4 ears. If you took off his boots, you'd see the ears growing off his feet. I heard that he had like 30 goddamn ears. He once held Lanfear's hand in a jar of acid in a cave. Wheel.
That is such an accurate parody of the.
Thank you.
Of the, like, it's frame for frame and stylistically the same as the George Washington video. It's incredible.
It took me an unspeakably long time.
It feels like a huge amount of work.
It was a lot of work
for this parody of a comedy song.
This is about as niche as it gets, I think.
I mean, great job.
Thank you.
So I was right. He's got wolf sniff. And
he's got sniffing. I'll tell you, he's got sniffing powers.
Yeah, no, I think.
Yeah.
If you're a wolf and you don't have sniff, what's the point?
Yeah. So he's good at sniffing. But the rest of the extent of his wolf powers has yet to be seen, I think. It'll be interesting to see how they do the sniffing, because in the book, whenever we get a Patron chapter, it's always like, oh, she smells angry or whatever. Like, you can spell people's emotions.
I can tell you how it's going to happen. It's going to happen like this. He's going to be with Egwene, and someone's going to walk in. She's going to be like, I'm angry. And he's going to turn to Egwene, and he's going to be like, she's angry. And Egwene's going to be like, what? How do you know? He's going to be like, I don't know. I can just smell it. And she's going to be like, that's weird. And he's like, yeah, I know. Don't worry about it too much. And they're going to move on. Almost line for line, that scene is going to happen.
You think so?
He is going to say to someone like, I don't know. I just smell it. Like, I can almost guarantee you. I'm calling it now. I'm putting a flag in the ground.
Yeah. It could be interesting because he's like, he really doesn't talk to anyone about it in the books. One of the recurring themes in the stories is a failure to communicate and the problems that causes for you.
Mm-hmm.
So as all of these people are discovering their various magics, and
like, I threw up a bat, but I don't want to tell anyone about it. Or right. I keep having dream goo, and it's black and it's scary, and I don't want to tell anyone about it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Or he finally told Egwene about Layla this episode, though. That was nice.
Yes, he did tell her about the thing that wasn't in the books.
He told her about that. Yeah.
And she's right, it's not his fault.
Stu Floater has a great idea. We'll see his nose hairs rustling. We'll zoom in on the nostril.
It did occur to me that we were also going to do like a super zoom on like, and be like, but then I thought about how that would look, and I think it would look dumb.
I think we'll do a House MD style, like zoom in on someone's pores and then follow the pheromone molecules up into Perrin's nose.
Is that what happens in House? I don't know that I've ever seen an episode of House.
House MD, like, anytime they're describing, he has this big revelation and he's describing like copper molecules from the coin that your son stuck up his nose drifted down the bloodstream and got into the aorta, and it like does these crazy 3D visualizations of what's happening.
That is so much more graphically intense than I assumed House does. That's good.
Yeah. Yes, it does happen in House. Yes, as Sith Guy says, let's not tell the expert magic person about this weird magic thing.
Yeah,
that's what they love to do.
What would they know? They probably wouldn't be able to help at all.
Yeah. Will attentive people be visual? I doubt it.
Oh, I hope he sees stink lines. I hope we go to Perrin Vision. We get to a Nintendo 64 GoldenEye cam.
That'd be cool.
And then we get Perrin Vision, and we just see a bunch of stink lines, and he's like, angry, dangerous, horny. I can see from the stink lines.
There is a whole separate magic system in this book called sniffing. There is a guy. I don't know if they're going to make it into the show, but there's a guy named Huron the Sniffer, and
you can always tell when a book was written before the internet.
Yeah.
Because you could write stuff like that and not be worried about what people would say about it.
Yeah. So we'll see if the Sniffer makes it in.
The Sniffer. It is I, the Sniffer.
He's cool. I like the Sniffer.
Beware of my magic, Sniff. Sniffing here, sniffing there, sniffing magic everywhere.
Yes, like people love him. He's great.
I am Jordan the Sniffer. Why does I sniff my magic? Magic, yes. I sense it. It's here. It's close. It's close by, this magic.
Yes, he doesn't smell magic. He smells the remnants of violence. So he like tracks criminals.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of cool actually.
He sniffs blood.
He sniffs like not just blood, but like he'll be able to be like something terrible happened here. So no one was killed, but
he's the guy that shows up at the crime scene in the New York police drama and is like, an assault has happened on this corner. The victim fled this way, a battery, and a third-story apartment window.
Exactly. It's the Wheel of Time Law and Order crossover is just here in the Sniffer appearing on the crime scene.
The Sniffer.
What do you think happened here? I know, Chief, when we got here, the body was just looking like this, but we got a guy.
Hello, it is I. This is in a different show.
Yes.
Hello, my fellow detectives.
My detectives.
This is I, the Sniffer.
People in the chat are trying to cast you as Huron now.
I mean, I've got the voice down. I assume
that's the voice down. That's how I always
assume he's supposed to be an extremely non-threatening character.
No, he's a badass. He's a thief catcher. He just like tracks down criminals.
Great.
So then we got a bunch of good boys attacking the white cloaks.
We love them. We love when a wolf grabs a weird white supremacist by the throat.
It's an interesting scene. I just love that they're clearly dogs having a great time.
They might be wolves.
They might be wolves.
I will tell you, I was shooting something in the Angeles National Forest almost when I first moved to Los Angeles. Like a very short, very small short film. And we were next to a wolf preserve.
Oh,
there's a wolf preserve in the Angeles Forest. And one of the things that they do at the wolf preserve is like volunteers take the wolves on walks. So they like wolves are just, if you have a wolf in not domestication, but at least, if a wolf is not hungry, it's essentially a wild dog. So
yeah,
they're probably a lot of part wolf, part dogs.
They're wolf dogs.
But there are small wolves too.
They're apparently Czech wolf dogs. I think it would be really hard to train like a full-on wolf to do some of those like fake attacks.
Oh yeah, sorry. They're probably not purebred wolves, but I don't. I also
they're
don't
wolf
think
dogs.
They're straight up dogs. They're like
the
wolf dogs. They're wolf dogs.
They're wolf dogs.
They're good boys and girls.
They're good boys. They knife him. They knife him and Valda. They run. They got the wolves helping them out, and that's kind of the end of their plot line. Do you have any predictions for where it's going?
To the White Tower is where they'll go next.
Okay,
that's where I would go if I was outside of a city that someone I thought could protect me, and I'd just gotten away from these bad dudes. Also, if these guys are right outside the city and the Aes Sedai are so powerful, like, can't the Aes Sedai take like 2 steps outside and like torch these fools? I know they can't use magic for violence.
Yeah,
they can do all sorts of stuff that isn't violence, can't they? Like that's their whole thing. They can't kill people, but
they generally don't. Like you see, so this scene didn't make it into the show, but in the first book, so that scene when the Aes Sedai encounter them in the woods, in the books, that scene happens in a little town, and the White Cloaks encounter them, and Moraine, instead of doing her lying thing to show how Aes Sedai lie, which is what the show needed to get out of it, instead she's like leans all in, and she's like do you really believe that I can't use this magic? And she like becomes very scary, and she uses magic to make herself look like 50 feet tall, and just like distracts the White Cloaks while everyone runs away. And
That's
then
pretty dope.
yeah, but we didn't get that scene. She like does all this crazy magic to make herself look huge and demonic, and it's like, you dare challenge an Aes Sedai, and but we didn't get that.
Love
There,
that. Hard to do a 50-foot tall scary lady on television.
it is.
You
it
can
is.
do it, but the internet would be like, "Uh-oh, that big lady! I want her to step on me." Resident Evil
Yeah.
Village. Like, that's exactly what would happen.
It
Everyone
would
would
look
just
like
be horny
the
for tall Moraine. Is
it would look
immediate.
like oh shit. It would look like the giant hot alien woman in Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh my god, I forgot about that. I haven't thought about that in 20 years, Sarah.
Yeah.
20 human years.
Yes. Well, it's important. That's what she would basically be.
Are you Googling giant
I'm
lady
I'm
from Dude,
googling
Where's My
giant.
Car? Yeah.
I'm googling giant hot
What
woman
would you
from
like
Dude, Where's
me to
My
talk about
Car.
while you Google hot lady from Dude, Where's My Car?
I mean, you can talk about whatever you want, because I'm not. Do I play this video for people?
Do it.
I think I have to. I think
Yeah,
I have to at this point.
Just play a small section of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna download this video for us right now. And good news, I've got super fast internet, so it won't take but a second.
That's what she
Boom.
says.
Already downloaded. Here we go. Super hot. This is basically Moraine in the books. I'm gonna turn off the audio so my stream doesn't get taken down for copyright infringement.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep. Forgot about how egregiously sexual this movie is.
Oh yeah, this movie is great.
That's
Okay,
right.
so this is essentially the Moraine in the book scene. Super hot giant alien. Chat, let me know that my stream hasn't been taken down, because I pulled that up without thinking about it, and now I'm worried.
How would you know?
Chat usually tells me. They're like, "Ooh, the stream got taken off."
Well, we'll find out. That's what happens when you try to post giant hot aliens from Dude, Where's My Car?
On your Wheel of Time stream.
And Ashton Kutcher comes after you.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, good. Stream is still alive. Great.
You're okay? All right.
So let's move on to the next plot line, the Aes Sedai plot line. Ada's deeply traumatized. I'm so sorry.
There is a weird subplot in that one that, I mean, I don't want to spoil Dude, Where's My Car? Dude, Where's My Car is, can I imagine your listeners or viewers are a little bit younger. Man, I don't know if Dude, Where's My Car holds up. I would bet it does not.
Okay, Dude, Where's My Car? I actually have a lot of thoughts on Dude, Where's My Car.
Okay.
I've watched it recently.
Oh, okay.
It was like one of my favorite movies growing up.
Same.
And I watched it recently. Are there parts that don't hold up? Obviously, yes.
Right.
But as far as dumb comedy movies with trans characters in them from that era, I think it's probably the best one.
We love
because the trans woman is played by a hot ass cis actress. So it's not, the reveal isn't like, oh, it's a man.
The
She's
joke
like
is
super hot.
the joke isn't like gross, a trans woman.
Right.
It's
now
like,
that said, the trans man she makes out with at the end of the movie is also played by a cis woman. So that joke is, so the trans masculine representation is not as good, but the trans feminine representation for a comedy at that time is
I was
okay.
gonna say, in what year? Like,
Big Bad Hat says this is not happening.
I mean,
Hello,
look.
Welcome to Dudes Where's My Cast, where we talk about
Welcome to Dude, Where's My Trans Representation? About trans representation and Dude, Where's My Car?
This is a 70 episode podcast. No, I do a serious representation. 20 years ago, a movie aired called Dude, Where's My Car?
By the way, the central magical artifact of Dude, Where's My Car? Spoiler alerts, is a Rubik's Cube.
That's true.
This is a movie where, like, Ashton Kutcher, it is basically The Hangover before The Hangover, if The Hangover was way sillier.
Yeah, it's a great movie. There's ostriches that might be llamas.
And Ashton Kutcher doesn't even do brown face in it, which is great.
Okay, you know what? This is good. We're gonna table this, and after the Wheel of Time is done airing, when we have months of empty space to fill, I'm
We'll
gonna
do
do an
where's
actual
my
Dude, Where's My Car video essay.
trans representation? Yeah, okay. Great.
Okay, but speaking of magical Rubik's Cubes, let's move on to our magic boys and gals. So first we open up on a very sad Logain.
He's sad.
He's so sad.
He doesn't even have magic, and now he's crazy.
Yeah.
And we're still bringing him in for some reason.
Just to publicly shame him.
Yeah, I mean, this is like
Wait, you just saw Dude, Where's My Car for the first time last night?
That is a wild movie to be watched. I mean, in the year of our Lord 2021.
In the year of our Logain 2021.
Yeah.
Wow. Hello, Dana Luhu. Welcome. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Sad Boys public shaming?
I mean, you're meant to not like it, right? It's supposed like anytime they do public shaming in a medieval sense, it is sort of like a weird reminder of like the people of this time, generally speaking, are reactionary. Like if you parade and it's like the funny thing about it is like this is not far off from something that we could do today. Like you can picture it. If someone like if we paraded a prisoner through the streets of literally any city in the United States of America, this would for sure happen. But it sucks to watch because I think it's made out to be like fantasy. Yeah, fair. No, I understand why they're doing it, but it always feels like it's supposed to be a reminder of like, look how far we've come that we don't do this anymore, and it never feels that way.
Oh yeah, I didn't read it that way. I mean, humans haven't really changed fundamentally in like 50 to 100,000 years.
We still wear the same chunky sweaters that we were wearing.
We still wear the same chunky sweaters. We still wear the same chunky sweaters. People would 100% do this. I mean, this is basically he's being like canceled by the woke mob.
He's basically being canceled, and all he did was trying to steal a revolution.
This is fucking cancel culture. A man can't even stage a bloody revolution with a dangerous magic.
This is like what if cancel culture was real though? Because like this is what if we actually did go in and take away Louis C.K.'s ability to make comedy specials, and now he can't do them anymore.
Instead of just having him hide out for a couple months.
Instead of pretending like we're canceling Louis C.K. and now Louis C.K. is like getting booked all over the fucking place, right? Like he's not actually like he's the most publicly person that we've ever canceled. Not most. I guess I'm talking in like Hollywood circles, but like it's not none of it's real. People, it's like it's not real. It's called consequences for your actions, and it's nothing. But Logain actually did get magically canceled.
Logain got magically canceled. he straight up did,
and he has the right to complain about magical cancel culture.
Magical cancel culture, castration, as Vic calls it.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, they straight up call it gentling, which is what they would do to animals to like make them gentler. Because when you take away male animals cojones, they get gentler.
Yes. So they go into town, and we'll get to specific laughing in the cage when we get to Rand and Matt,
which was cool. I like that.
But first we get a time with the warders, with our dear friend Stepan.
Mm-hmm.
May the last embrace of the mother welcome him home. We get him dressing in white.
We go to the boys' dorms.
Go to the boys' dorms. Stepan's like, yeah, my life sucked. And then Maxim is like, well, my life sucked too. So
my life sucked from the jump. So shut up.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, always the way to you're supposed to comfort someone who is going through something bad. You tell them about how your stuff is actually worse and they need to cheer up. That's good advice.
It's true. Yeah. I once had someone tell me they were sad because their magical best friend that they were psychically linked to just died.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, well, my dad tried to kill me when I was 12.
So maybe your thing's not so bad. That's what we all sort of want in times of crisis.
Yes.
For someone to put perspective on how the reason that we're feeling sad is actually not a reason to feel sad.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yes, this is an SPCA. The more you know, please gentle and still your dogs and cats.
Mm-hmm.
We can't have dogs and cats running around doing uncontrolled magic.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Magic is for humans, not dogs and cats.
It is accurate.
Dogs and cats. Magic is tainted by the dark one. We all know this.
Magic is for women, and when dogs and cats touch it, they make it filthy.
That's right. Magic is for women. When dogs and cats and men touch magic, they make it filthy.
Yes.
And the Dark Lord knows this.
Grant says it is very accurate. It's an accurate depiction of men in grief, though. Yeah, that's right. I mean,
yeah. It didn't bother me when he said that. I thought it was extremely real. It's just bad therapy.
It's bad therapy. Steppen could have used some better friends here. Lan tried to be a good friend.
I mean, yeah. I mean, trigger warning suicide, right? Like this stuff is really hard to portray, but they're doing it with a character who you really don't have too much attachment to yet because you haven't seen that much of him. He's not one of the main characters. And the point of the show is trying to make here, and I think it does it in a fairly, I mean, like, to their credit, we didn't watch him do it, which was good. That would have been horrific.
Yes.
The point they're trying to make here clearly from the outside is like the connection between these two people is no joke.
Right.
And when it's broken, it is something that the people that are forging these relationships are extremely aware of what the danger is of one of them going. Particularly, I guess, I think the warders are like, your Aes Sedai is not supposed to die first. You're supposed to like die protecting your Aes Sedai, which is, great. And when that doesn't happen, it just gets extremely complicated and bad very fast.
Yeah, it's really sad. It does show that, and I thought it was effective at showing that. But first,
Still
we got
sad.
this really beautiful scene. I love this.
When they melted the ring back down to be part of what I assume is the place where they make new rings from.
Yeah, it's interesting. The warder culture is barely explored in the books beyond some description of like their actual martial training.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is an entirely new tradition. This is innovated by the show. This idea,
it.
I thought it was great. I love it too. I love this shot so much. I think it's awesome.
It does feel like, I mean, like it's a big wheel. This show has a wheel theme, by the way. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, I picked it up.
Yeah, but it was like it did seem like in my brain, having not read the books or knowing, I was like, oh, okay. They melt down rings, and this is the place where they forge new rings from. I would be willing to bet that when and if Egwene or Nynaeve get rings, like we come and watch someone like scooping out gold or whatever from this big wheel.
Yeah, I would bet. Thing. I would bet that too, which I really like. It's a very cool tradition.
Great shot, beautiful shot, by the way.
Yeah. Alan says the Karenni Steppen story was really about Moraine and Lan.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they sort of explicitly say when someone says to Moraine, like, you're going to be around for a long time. Like, don't worry about it with Lan. And then Lan is like terrified at the end of this thing.
Yeah.
The funeral scene that ends this episode, I think, is really powerful and good.
Yeah. We'll get there in just a second.
Fine.
I know. Well, we can talk about it now.
No, later.
It's like now. I just like looking at this shot because I really love. I'm not sold on the exterior of Tar Valon, but I fucking love the sets inside the White Tower.
When we got to the exterior of Tar Valon, my wife Nicole was like, "Oh, this is like this is the not fallen version of the Shadow City. They look architecturally almost exactly the same."
And that is very perceptive of Nicole because both cities were built by Ogier stonemasons thousands of years ago.
Okay. Now we're not there yet to this episode's best and newest character.
Yeah.
But smart,
a little foreshadowing.
My wife is smarter than I am.
But yeah, you can see some of their work. It's always described, the work of the Ogier stonemasons is always described as like impossibly detailed beyond what a human could do. And they didn't lean into this aspect in the show set so much, but the Ogier, they're kind of like firbolgs. Their actual affinity is with trees, and they their magic system is all about singing to trees and being able to like coax trees into growing in like impossibly beautiful shapes.
That's dope as hell.
It's dope as hell. And they don't like working with stone because it's dead. They're just good at it. So they do it.
So they just build whole cities about it?
They just build whole cities because like after the breaking, they didn't really have anything to do. So it's kind of how they survived, was building cities.
Because they couldn't use magic anymore?
They were basically like during the Age of Legends, they were just kind of the gardeners. They tended these magical trees called Avendasoras that were like trees of peace that lined every city streets and exuded auras of peacefulness. And after the breaking, when everything went to shit, that job wasn't around anymore because those cities weren't around anymore, so they had to build new cities.
These cities are their ships in a bottle. They needed a
Yeah,
hobby to
they needed
do.
a hobby.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're always described as having carved the stone into very, like, organic and natural shapes, like
Well,
seashells and, like, flowers and
yeah, I think from like a set design perspective, that's hard for a whole
very
city,
hard.
right? Because in theory, you don't want to be doing everything on a green screen. So like you're not going to find buildings that look like that. Although I will say the Ogier, the first time we see them, is he called like an ogre? Does Matt call him an ogre? And
Rand
maybe
is like an ogre, and
not
he's like,
Matt. Yes,
yeah,
Rand. Sorry. And he's like, no, actually an Ogier, which is great because you know the visual comparison at least to Tolkien is orcs,
right.
and orcs are like fantasy wise problematic for all sorts of reasons. Um, but more so than that is like the weird way that Dungeons and Dragons sort of like spun them off, and with like
With, like, half orcs in World of Warcraft and
but
like that.
specifically with like the locked um
Oh, yeah.
affinity, not affinity, what's it called? Alignment with like orcs are evil. It's just like, which is, from a video game standpoint, they're trying to like gamify and make it simple, but it is like what we have seen in the more recent days of D&D was like everyone, no, everyone just like everyone can be evil, everyone can be good. So the fact that this like before all this was already being like, yeah, monsters aren't like monsters, they're just different, and some of them are good, and
Yeah.
ogres aren't good and ogres aren't bad, ogres are just or gear, sorry.
Ogier, yeah.
So yeah, Fearbolg is a better sort of like comp. But even Fearbolg is Dungeons and Dragons being like, well, I guess the orcs can't do this because the orcs are bad, so we
Right.
better make up new orcs that are good, which is a simplification of what's actually happening. But like, anyway, when this dude popped up, both my wife and I were like, yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, yes. We always love it's Data from Star Trek, it's
For
Worf, it's
sure.
every Vulcan being like, humans are so stupid.
Yes.
Always rushing around when they should be slowing down. Also, I
Yes.
love books. Yeah.
Yeah, Loyal is a fan favorite character. Um, let's jump just I'm just gonna force you to jump back to the Aes
Yeah,
Sedai
it's your
plot, and
show,
then
your
we'll finish
show.
it. We'll get to Loyal because I have a lot I wanna talk to you about with Loyal. Um, but first, we get this really interesting scene where Stepan is doing this ceremony, and Lan comes up and says like, "Oh, I haven't seen you. I didn't know you did this ceremony."
Yeah, he
Um,
was like, these gods are all dead for like, or whatever. I'm trying to remember exactly what he said about him because I also found it really interesting. These were like ancients that like sacrifice themselves
I don't know
to
how
steal
much to
something away. I'm trying to remember exactly what they said.
Yeah, so what he said is, well, I'm gonna leave it up to you because I don't think it's a spoiler. Like, it's a bit of lore that I think they've talked about and that you would definitely know by now in the books. But um, do you want me to explain what these are?
Let me tell you what I got the impression was.
Okay.
These were at one point like either super powerful humans or like gods that literally walked the earth or something, that were revered in some way and are either not worshipped anymore or sacrificed themselves to do something else and have sort of like become now part of forgotten legend or whatever. Is that close?
That's pretty close.
Okay.
I won't tell you any more than that then. I will say,
That feels like it's more or less what they said.
I
I'm
will point
trying
out
to
I'll point out the actual line Land says though
Yes, please, please, please.
is and I'll miss Mick here. not many people pray to ward off the Forsaken anymore.
Okay, so these guys are not the Forsaken. Or are they? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is another, like, cultural innovation of the show. Like, this is not from the books.
Who are have they
I can
talked about
tell
the Forsaken at all in this series up until this point?
I think that was the first mention of them in the TV show.
Oh, okay. I think when I was watching this, I was like, oh wait, are these the Forsaken? Are these the like very specifically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 8 Forsaken people that like did a thing? For some reason, I got that impression that these were like both the Forsaken, and you were praying to like keep them away. They're like old gods, and they're locked away something. I
Yeah,
think that's what I thought when I saw it.
yeah, that's accurate. That's more
Okay,
accurate.
great.
I'm being accused of spoiling way too much. I really don't think I am. This is a bit of lore that, like, very much is established in the books
And it
by
was
now.
something that they said. Now that I'm remembering what Land's line actually was, it was like these are the Forsaken. They're locked away somewhere, and they have straight up told you that if you're a viewer.
Yeah, and I
But they
think that's
haven't told you literally anything else about what that means or why they are or
yep,
whatever.
that's all you know about it. But people wanna give you credit for being very
Thanks,
perceptive.
everyone.
Yes.
Listen, here's all I know. We gotta get these Funko Pops, right? We gotta
I am
get
dying to have this set of statues.
It's
I
really
hope this
cool.
is merch. I love it so much, and I think, you know, I'm gonna now that I'm on Adderall, maybe it's time to get back into 3D design. Maybe I'll design some 3D printable files for these suckers.
Now, how does Adderall factor into this conversation for you? Adderall makes
Because,
you feel like you're happy enough to make stuff.
um, in the past when I was on Adderall, I found it like 3D design is something that's hard for me to sit down and do without it.
Mm.
But when I'm on it, it's the kind of thing that I can do because I enjoy it. It's just like it's so much more detail oriented
Oh,
than I'm
gotcha,
good
gotcha,
at.
gotcha. Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I want you to follow your bliss. Also,
Thank you.
I want you to do a cursory Etsy search to see if you can save yourself a lot of time in purchasing these things straight already, unless you want to make them, in which case, go for
I
it.
would make the files and I would want to make them free so anyone could print a copy for themselves.
You're the hero this time needs.
Yeah.
You're the hero of the Wheel of Time.
Thank you. We get this lovely conversation between Landrin and Nynaeve.
What is this actress's name? Because every time I see her, I think, uh-oh, evil Kristen Chenoweth is back.
You want to know the real actress's name?
Yes, because she's
Her,
famous.
Kate Fleetwood.
Oh, maybe she's anyway. She's great, but she is evil Kristen Chenoweth in my mind.
Yes. Did Kristen Chenoweth play Elphaba?
Galinda.
Galinda. Okay.
And
Yeah.
she is, I want to say, like, she's not Easter. Maybe she's Easter, spring. She's one of the gods in the Neil Gaiman
American Gods.
series, American Gods.
Got it.
She's yeah. I haven't watched. Yeah.
This is like I think probably her biggest role to date. She's had a few parts in movies. It looks like she's mostly a stage actress. A lot of the actors in this show are from the stage.
I fucking love that for them. It's not cast with Hollywood elites.
Yeah.
It's cast with real actors, baby.
Yeah.
Do we need more Americans in it? Yes, obviously. But they're doing a great job. I haven't seen a single performer in the show that I was like, no.
Yeah, same.
Humans are in season. Humans are in season.
Just saying this. These are our patrons. And I just love this fucking line. So I'm taking the opportunity. Thank you so much, all of our patrons. Y'all are the best. And this doesn't include our brand new patrons, but thank you to Boggy and thank you to Posset and thank you to Danielle. I missed that one. Danielle, you're incredible. Arrow, you're incredible. Y'all are all, we love you so much.
And you've been rewarded with the persimmons are in season. Also,
Yeah.
what a fun way to pronounce the word persimmons.
I agree when she was like the persimmons.
The persimmons are in season.
Persimmons. Well, as I was trying, I like tweeting out really dumb takes about the episodes that are like obviously incorrect and
No, I think
stretching.
that's excellent.
But my take on that line is that she's trying to tempt Nynaeve into joining the Red Aja, aka to pursue Min.
Now that is some galaxy brain shit. So Pursue men.
Yeah, she's like
and the season is always because we're the Red Aja.
She's incepting that shit into Nynaeve's head.
Yes, that. Oh man, that's wild. That's an insane connection to make. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah,
it felt like a very bad bait. You'd be like, it's the bad equivalent of like. There's a real.
it's a TAM joke in the Wheel of Time community. It's known as a TAM joke.
I mean, I don't know. That feels a little bit like that feels a little complex to be a TAM joke for me.
I think my bigger stretch was in episode 4 when we see Perrin working on the wagon in the Tuatha camp.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that he's working on the axle, aka he's working through his trauma about the time he axed Elle, his wife Layla.
Yeah, that's bad.
Thank you.
Yeah, just like sometimes you need a friend to tell you when you've done a bad thing. Yeah, that's a bad.
Thank you.
One.
Yes.
But I love to see your mind at work. I think it's important to stay sharp, even if occasionally you do bad ones. That's good.
Thank you. But let's get back to persimmons. So there are some persimmons that are in season, and Leandrin wants Nynaeve to go eat them. But I really love that scene with Leandrin. This actress, I like her a lot, and she's really hitting a sweet spot for me where I'm like, I don't think we're supposed to like her.
No.
But like, how do you think she's coming off before I taint you with my take?
before the breaking of the take. See, I know what's up.
The dark take.
We're talking about the red lady, right? Sorry, I do have to clarify. Yeah, I think they made a point in this episode specifically of being like, this woman is bringing more and more and more and more people to her side.
Yeah.
So like, we're supposed to know that 1, she's trouble. 2, lots of people like her, and I think that she is. We get it, Dark Ones. Taint. You love taint. You put it in your name. You screamed it in the chat. There's a lot of taint in this books. I'm not here to taint shame anyone.
No taint shaming on this stream.
We taint shaming here. Yeah, I think they're doing a great job. I think she's doing a great job. I think it's like this woman is trouble, and also you're supposed to know that like this woman is popular. And a lot of people are following her, even though her reason to go explore the castle is pretty bad. Like, can you imagine being Nynaeve right now and be like, hey, I've got something that you're not going to be able to resist. Over there, we got some fucking trees. And they got fruit on them. I know that you've just been walked through a giant magical city, unlike anything that you've ever seen. But guess what? Over here, we got trees, and you're not going to believe what these trees look like. Just wait. We're going to get a shot of these actually.
I love that. I love that line. I wish I could play clips on this stream and not have YouTube take down our videos, but we can't.
Yeah, YouTube
but just
being a narc.
I really love the way that actress is portraying this character, because like I feel like it's clear we're not really supposed to like her.
Yeah.
Like, but I think she doesn't come off to me, and this is where I want to hear your take on Zach, because obviously I have baggage with this character, but she doesn't come off to me as like, she just feels so awkward. Like she's trying to be nice and genuinely like doesn't know how to be friendly, but in like kind of, to me, a charming, like socially awkward way rather than an evil way.
If we didn't have characters we trust being like, that woman's a snake, or this woman is up to something else, like devoid of all that, like the show has basically told you, don't trust this lady. But if you take that all away, I don't think you have any red flags with this character, other than maybe
the Red Aja.
Just the Red Aja. Other than maybe like the first time we see her going after like a crazy man. But even then, I think like the best villains are villains that you understand where they're coming from, right? Like they're not insane. Yeah, if Nynaeve says she's a snake and you're like, well, I trust Nynaeve because Nynaeve is a badass. So like, they're your eyes in for how you're supposed to feel about these people. So I think that's where I land on her. What's her name?
Leandrin.
I think she's great.
Yeah, I like her.
I think she's trouble. I think she's a zealot. But like Moraine is the one who has saved our heroes. So like if we know that Moraine has a problem with Leandrin, okay, yeah. See, there you go. Of course she played Lady Macbeth.
She would be an incredible Lady Macbeth.
Of course she did.
Yeah.
And that a Tony.
Yes, on stage.
Oh, yes, I know what the Tonys are. Thank you.
I know. Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm wondering, does stuff in the West End qualify for Tonys, or did she play Lady Macbeth in the States? Someone in the chat tell me where if the Tonys cover the West End. I don't know if they do. They certainly might. I think there's also their own awards for that, though. In fact, I think they don't cover the West End, now that I think about it, which means she did play Lady Macbeth in the States. Now, often stuff comes from the West End to Broadway.
It came to New York City. Yeah, it was a West End show.
We did it, guys. We figured it out. Thanks.
We figured it out. We did it. Welcome to Wheel of Tony chat, where we talk about who wins Tonys in the Wheel of Time. That's all we talk about.
She's a dang Tony winner for Lady Macbeth of all. Yes, thank you. We made it there, CB.
And she was directed by her husband, Rupert Gould, in that production.
Ooh, okay,
there you go. A little fun trivia for you.
I love it. I don't know who that is, but I'm excited for
Did you know Kate Fleetwood got her start at the Royal Shakespeare Company? What a place to get your start.
Yeah, me too. But I don't talk about it. It's fine.
She's been acting there since she was a kid. Very cool. It shows. She's great. I love her. So we get this scene with Moraine. She does a little creepy cheek stroke. What do you think's going on here?
Oh, Leandrin's 400% a lesbian. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Have we not talked about that yet?
Yeah. Leandrin? Yeah, for sure.
Hates men, hunts them down. I feel like most of their, maybe not. Yes, Tony, but yeah, it won a Tony. It won a Tony.
Yeah, she's a lesbian for sure.
And she's in love with Moraine, or at least is attracted to Moraine.
Yeah. It's Robert Jordan said, and this is canon. So anyone out there, honestly, at this point, if you're watching my channel, you probably won't unsubscribe because I'm telling you this. But Robert Jordan said canonically, 1/3 to 1/2 of all the women in the White Tower are either lesbian or bisexual.
Wow. So, and isn't that like the real world? Probably.
Well, he said that's the same as the general population. And
well, there you go. Well, that's why.
Yeah. I have thoughts on that more specifically, but I'm going to do a whole like actual straight up scripted and edited video essay on queer stuff in the Wheel of Time.
That's great.
We'll talk about later. So we get this scene and Leandrin's like, I just told Nynaeve where the specimens are, so she's going to become Red Aja.
Right. Yes. I have tempted her with my beautiful fruited trees. So you can basically give up now.
And Moraine, do you remember what Moraine's retort was?
Moraine was like, yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
good luck, but probably not.
Yeah. Who isn't attracted to Moraine, Miss Mick? That is correct.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
What did Moraine say?
Moraine is
like, come to. I told her about the sexy trees.
And chat, just so you know, like unlike with Vic, I refuse to give Vic like any more information than I absolutely have to because I love watching them flounder. But Zach, I'm happy to tell you stuff that I don't think is a spoiler and that enhances your understanding of the lore.
Why are you treating me different than Vic?
You want me to let you flounder?
No, I just don't understand why.
Oh, because people specifically come to watch Vic flounder.
Oh, okay. Well,
but
I don't want to. I don't want to take her thing.
That's Vic's thing. Your thing.
I don't have a thing. I'll try to establish a thing.
You've got. I think your thing. Like people love your very insightful takes. They're always impressed by how much you get right for a non-reader.
Oh, okay. Well,
So they like that.
I'll keep being right. That's what
No
I'll do.
pressure.
That will be my thing.
Maureen says she just healed like 500 people. I am pretty sure she's going to become yellow, Aja.
Oh, yes, that's right. She was like, yeah, the yellows are going to want her more than you.
Yeah.
The Birdsword brand is well established. Yes, thank you.
This is your
Team
thing.
Birdsword
This is
Warrior.
your
Yes,
thing.
that's my thing. I don't know
Birdsword
how I even
Warrior.
forgot for a fucking second what my thing was.
Speaking of Birdsword Warriors, you can buy yourself a Birdsword Warrior t-shirt on our Redbubble store. That's right. Anyway, and while we're at it, hey, you could do our Patreon too. Let's get our Patreon banner up.
Seems
Let's
like
get
a
our...
lot of people did.
Yeah, I've been really happy.
Look at all these patrons.
Look at all these patrons, and I haven't even added the patrons from today. So
listen, you patrons, you got to do it.
you got to do it. Also, if you're watching and you're not subscribed to this channel, please
It's
subscribe.
free. Click the button,
free.
you maniacs.
It's free. It legitimately, people. I've been watching YouTube like hours every day since it's been out
for your whole life, right?
Basically. And content creators are always like, please click subscribe. Like, it really helps us. And I was like, okay, does it though? And now, as a small content creator, I'm like, holy fuck, actually, yes, it determines everything about how successful your channel is allowed to
And
be.
your channel has grown so much since you started it not that long ago, my friend.
I'm
You're
so
doing a great
happy.
job.
Thank
You
you.
should be proud. You're doing great work. This is great content, and you seem to have created like really, really wonderful community, which is hard to do on the internet, which has a lot of stuff. So great job, Sarah, and great job everyone here for watching.
Thank you, everyone here, and the community is the best part, and I think like that's just something about the Wheel of Time is it attracts a really specific kind of fan base. Like there is a toxic subset of the Wheel of Time fan base.
All fan bases. I mean, once there are more than 10,
yeah,
there's.
I think you just can't get through 14 books, 15 with a prequel of like people learning how to healthily handle trauma and learning important lessons about communication and not assuming negative things of others, and like it just attracts like a fairly positive set of people, which I love.
It is what draws personally me to fantasy in general, is that they tend to be stories of hope, stories that see like the best people. Also comments. Yes. Comments are helpful to channels as well. Yes.
I do serve the algorithm.
I mean, that's why that is why even like dark comedies tend to, I love comedies, but I feel like I am drawn to communities where people are generally not jaded about like the sort of path that we as a species are taking, despite the fact, like, fully acknowledging that we are constantly fucking it up.
Oh, I'm 100% like full black pill doomer these days. The Wheel of Time is what gives me hope, and
it is so straight. Yes, to I'm trying to think of how to pronounce that username.
Passet is what I say.
Passet. It is so funny how much that, like, and it happens a lot with, like, I mean, Star Wars is the prime example, right? Where like it is so old that and has had properties for so long that people grew up with like their version of it. And now it is being expanded for like a new generation. And also it's evolving in the way that all media evolves if it wants to stay relevant. And people feel some kind of way about that and then go on the internet and create these like communities of people that it's like, wow, for someone that likes Star Wars, you do spend a whole lot of time screaming at other people who have recently decided they really like Star Wars. It's like, it's so strange because it's like somehow this idea of like, it would be as if, and I think that there's been enough time between the Wheel of Time, like, well, I guess I don't know, because Brandon Sanderson, when he picked it up, is like fairly recently releasing some Wheel of Time books. Yeah.
The last book came out, and I'm sure people know it was something like 2013, 2012.
Okay, so by like fantasy standards, recently, right?
Yeah.
So, and there hasn't been like, there haven't been a ton. Have there been other Wheel of Time movies, visual adaptations?
Well, Zach, funny you asked that question. It's actually a long and sordid history.
Cyclical history that repeats itself, sort of
Yes.
like a wheel.
Yes, the wheel of time turns, and ages come and pass, leaving memories that fade into legend. Legend fades to myth, and even myth is long forgotten. By the time the age that gave it birth comes again, Zach.
Holy fuck! Is that off the? Do you have that written down in front of you, or is
No,
it
no,
just a thing?
it's just drilled in here,
I'm
baby.
really happy for you. Do you remember like how to do multiplication?
No.
I mean, one's more useful, right?
Yeah, I can't count past 7 because
What's
that's the
this
number of
for?
ages there are.
That's right. I have this. I don't need to do multiplication.
2013, I'm
Thank you,
hearing.
Daniel.
Yes. We're going to do a reaction show of Vic and Zach watching The Winter Dragon because I haven't seen The Winter Dragon either, and I'm gonna make them come watch it live with me.
Yeah, let's live stream it.
It's basically the story of The Winter Dragon. It's really fucked. These two guys owned the TV rights to the Wheel of Time, but they never did anything with it.
Cool. I love to do that. I love to purchase extremely fan loved and expensive IP and then sit on it.
Yeah, they like sat on it. It was super disappointing to the fan base over and over again. And then
that's me, by the way, with the Phantom Tollbooth. If you're sad that like more of that hasn't come out, it's because I own it, and I'm just like, I actually don't want to release any Phantom Tollbooth stuff. I want to just own it and not do anything with it.
Contractually, like the rights were going to revert back to the Robert Jordan estate, to his wife Harriet,
unless they made something with it.
Unless they made something that aired on TV. And so they made like a 20-minute shitty fucking thing, somehow starring Billy Zane, just of the prologue of book 1 and nothing else. And they aired it on like local access, fucking infomercial channel at like 3 a.m. on a random weekday night. The night like days before the property would have reverted back to his estate. And that's why they're producers on this show and making lots of money off of it.
Oh my god.
Luckily, Harriet, Robert Jordan's widow, is also a producer on this show, so it's not like, and she's been involved in the making, so it's not
they're
like,
just collecting a check.
They're just collecting a check, but they suck so much.
Who are these enemies of the show?
What?
Who are these enemies of the show?
Red Eagle Entertainment is their name.
Please hold.
Yeah. It's like Larry Mondragon is his actual name.
Great.
Yeah. Yes.
You can keep talking. I can Google and listen at the same time.
Yeah, so we are going to watch that, though. It's famously bad, reviled within the fandom. And I'm going to make you watch it with me because I've never seen it. I've been waiting until after this show is over to.
Yes, you didn't want to poison the well. I understand.
I don't want to poison the well.
Red Eagle Entertainment seems to not have an online presence at all, which is always a great sign for a production company.
Yeah, they're really good. They've never produced anything except this show. Yeah, they suck. Anyway, where were we in the episode? We got Leandrin and Moraine. Leandrin's being creepy. How did you feel like Moraine felt about this moment? Because there's been like mixed vibe reactions.
I think Moraine in general plays things very close to the vest. That's like her whole thing. I don't know what Moraine is thinking most of the time. I know that she is thinking. It's like a Counting Crows song, sort of. I don't know what it means, but I know that the person singing it does know what it means, and it does mean something to them.
Right.
Which I feel like is often good songwriting and good filmmaking. Like, we don't need to understand everything at every single moment. We just need to know that something is going on, and they need to understand what it is.
Yeah, that's see, this is why people like you, Zach, because that's spot on.
My hot takes. All right,
that's spot on for fucking Moraine.
And what she's thinking about is a big sword with a bird on it.
Moraine is just sitting there. No one's touched me like this since that bird sword warrior. Yes,
I do want her to get with. I mean, maybe not. She and Lan love each other. Whether it's sexual or not is sort of immaterial.
It is a deeply platonic love.
That's fine.
Thank you, Axie, for joining us on Patreon. Ah, my friends, y'all are the best. Yeah, so there have been some people who are like, ooh, this is like the sparks flying between these two, and then other people like, this is a creepy power play, and Moraine is not into it.
Oh yeah, I don't see sparks here. I see two extremely powerful women making plays. But sparks are not the way I would describe this.
People like you're counting crows.
Thank you, Stu. Also, I should full disclosure: the Counting Crows are a favorite band of mine, despite what's his face's extremely unfortunate hair for a long time, which has now been rectified. Thank God.
Yeah.
Can't be white Jewish guys having dreadlocks.
No.
We simply cannot. And that has been fixed. He was bald and he was nervous and he didn't want to show people, and now he is. This is not what this show is about.
This is not Counting Crows chat, but it can be. Oh wait. I don't know if that was a spoiler. Okay, yeah. So there is a comment here saying, Zach, you said something about getting more Americans in the cast. There is a culture we have not met yet in the show, but Robert Jordan described them as having like Texan accents. How would you feel about seeing that in your fantasy?
World breaking. I would love it. I would be, first of all, so surprised. But if that's the way they're described, I think like, yeah, do it. If that's the like
in the books, they're described as having like slow, slurred speech, but outside of the context of the books, he was like, yeah, in my head, they sound like Texas drawl.
Well, then I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't actually need there to be Americans in the show, other than like as an American actor, I'm always like,
Daniel Henney's American. Lan.
Is he really?
Yeah, American.
Then what do you want? We've got the best.
From LA, we got the best one.
We've got the best of the best. But it's like, it's just like, we've outsourced truly all of our most beloved American properties to actors of other nationalities, which is wonderful. Like, we love an English Superman.
We do love an English Superman.
Like, that's fine. I don't care as long as it flows both ways a little bit.
Yeah, it is one. I just realized one of the first bird sword warriors we meet in the books is of this culture. So
we're gonna see a Texan bird sword warrior.
Yeah.
All right.
I see that you are also a practitioner of the bird sword arts.
Now, this is very interesting to me. I did not know there were Aes Sedai around these parts.
I did not know there were other bird sword warriors around these parts.
More bird sword warriors, y'all come around.
Y'all come around. I'll show you a thing or two with my bird sword, and
I'll tell you what. We'll all get our bird swords out. We'll have a hell of a good time with these bird swords.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. They're really
brazen to me to do a Texan accent in front of you, I might say.
Oh, that's okay. My Texas accent comes and goes, like, because I grew up in Houston, so this is my normal accent. But I grew up driving to Lufkin, a very small town where my mom grew up, to visit my grandparents. And when I'm around people who have Texas accents, then I can slip into it like no problem. But if it's been a while since I've heard it, it can be hard for me to catch it.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I have that is, by the way, speaking of that, that's the reason why so many non-Americans play Americans, but Americans don't often play it the other way. It is because our accents are so diluted that it's like, if you were to say like, Zach, what is your like, I have an American accent, but you wouldn't be able to place where I am from by the way I talk. And so if you were mimicking like, I can't tell for the most part where Americans are from, where like people from like very specific places in the UK, you would be like, not only is it England, you are in this city in England, and like they can tell the difference in a way that we can't. My wife is much better at picking out when Brits are doing bad American accents than I am.
Yeah. Y'all youngins, let's see what's required to earn this here bird sword round.
What's required to earn this here bird sword?
That's pretty much a direct line from the books. Yeah, it's tough. They're very good at it.
They do a great job.
Yeah, those like
keep getting roles.
There are those like New York Times "Can I guess your dialect" quiz things you can take. That it always knows if you're from Houston, because Zach, what do you call the road that runs alongside like a highway that you take for a bit before getting onto the on-ramp?
Like an off-ramp?
Not just the ramp, like the road that runs parallel to the highway.
Road. I don't even know that we have a word for that. What do you call it?
In Houston and in nowhere else, those roads are called feeder roads. So you do
That makes
you'd be
total
like
sense, but I've
you take
never
the
heard that.
feeder, like you take the
Right.
feeder, the 59 feeder down, whatever. And so those quizzes always have what do you
Have
call
that
that?
question, and it's like, boom, Houston.
Yeah.
You're
You're
Houston.
from Houston. Stu Floater. I don't know if you're from Houston, Stu, or if you're just copying me. It is you sell bird swords and bird sword paraphernalia? I am interested.
Yeah, put link in the chat.
Okay, Boggy. I do not look forward to a culture that has a Boston accent in Wheel of Time. Here's the thing,
I mean,
Boggy.
there are accents that sort of like break the illusion, right?
You lived in
Like
Houston for 2
we don't want
years.
to come into a fantasy city and hear, for example, hey, welcome to my fucking fantasy city. What do you want? You looking for like a big fantasy sandwich? You want like a small fantasy sandwich? We got hot like
yes. It's kind of like Billy Crystal in Princess Bride.
I mean, a beloved scene. Billy
Yeah.
Crystal and oh my god, she's in Scrooged. She's in someone help me. It's Billy Crystal and a very, very, very famous, very funny woman whose name I am.
Yes. Wait. Anyone in the chat? Anyone in the chat
Someone
letting
knows
us
it.
know?
Someone
Carol
knows
Kane?
it. Carol Kane. Thank you, Carol Kane.
Thank you, Sith
Yes.
Guy.
By the way, if you are a watcher of this and have not watched The Princess Bride,
It's the best fucking movie.
Excellent. And even if you just want to Google that scene, I think it's Miracle Max.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's Billy Crystal and Carol Kane and Mandy Patinkin in like a fantasy show. It's incredible. It's really, really wonderful.
Baston. Here's the thing. I went to college in Baston. Yes, we packed the cat in Taval and Yad, but I hate the Boston accent. But funny you say this, Hasty Elder Hammond, and I'm sorry if you're from Boston or New England generally.
We love you and
cultural
we
bias.
love your accent.
We love your accent and it's beautiful.
I'm not going to say what Sarah said. I love your accent.
I'm going to change what I said. I hate not getting to hear the Boston accent is what I meant to say.
That's the opposite of what you said. So I'm glad you made that correction.
Agree to disagree. Hasty Elder Hammond says Boston accents have stuff in common with UK accents. The first time, like my freshman year of college, I was sitting in a room with this kid, and literally for 2 weeks, I thought this guy was British, and he just had a thick ass Boston accent, and I had never heard it before, coming from the South. Inconceivable. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Well, Sean, baby.
You don't believe the Princess Bride exists. Well, Pentorp Tash, I don't even know what to say to you. Okay.
Princess Bride? I don't believe they exist. Rodents of unusual sizes.
I do love ROUSs. Trollocs of unusual size. So let's get back to Wheel of Time though here. That's enough of Princess Bride cast, the Bride cast, the As You Wish cast. What did you think of Moraine's little painting?
I didn't understand it. It was clearly something that was supposed to be important, but it means nothing to me. I was like, oh, that's a meaningful painting that I do not understand yet.
Let me level with you, Zach. Me neither, because it's also not in the books.
It's a picture. It's a painting of Moraine, looking at a painting of Moraine. It's a Dorian Gray-esque portrait.
Yes, this is actually Moraine. the real Moraine.
She's trapped in there, and she's aging. And she's looking at another painting of Moraine through a window.
Exactly. So actually, the Moraine in the painting isn't aging because the painting Moraine has another smaller painting Moraine who's doing the aging for her. So
right.
Then we get the very sad scene, which has been dubbed in certain subsections of the fandom Stepuku.
Excuse me.
So very sad Stepuku scene.
Very sad, but I'm glad we didn't watch it happen.
Very glad. Yes. You just want a section in the show to have an Indian accent? Oh, I feel like I mean the actress who plays Alana is Indian. She's a Bollywood actress. Does she not have an Indian accent? I guess it's not like I guess she's using more of like a kind of more Britishified voice, maybe.
Sure. It's so tricky with so much movement of people between those two places as to what that accent would be.
But yeah, the scene is very sad, and Lan is very sad. I what I loved about this scene is when Lan finds Stepan doing that ceremony, and he's like, "I'm gonna stay with you tonight because I recognize what you're going through right now, and I'm worried for you, and I'm gonna be a good friend, and I'm gonna stay
Mhm.
with you." And um, sadly,
You
Stepan,
got drugged.
you got drugged.
The dude played you. The dude went to get sleeping powder from Nynaeve and then gave it to you.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Alana is a felon, not Indian. I'm very sorry. Um, just kidding. The actress is Indian, but Alana is a felon. Yeah, he got drugged.
That's good to know because I was upset when you said it the other thing because I was thinking, isn't she Era Felon?
Yeah.
Because it's
Sorry.
bells.
Zach has a hard time separating Wheel of Time from reality. He's just very into it.
Mm-hmm.
So that happens, and then we get the funeral. Let's get to that funeral. A really interesting ceremony. The like Mongolian throat singing and the central kind of performative griever in Land.
Yes, Nicole was like, "Oh, there's a designated mourner,"
Yeah,
which is a thing where there's the one person who expresses the grief for everyone as
yeah,
like a form of group catharsis. I thought this scene was great and powerful and beautiful, and I thought everyone was acting their little faces off in it.
yeah.
Um,
That was so sad. Everyone's so sad, and it's very sad. I mean, you got to feel for Stepan, and it does got to make you worry for any warder at this point.
and sound design I thought was good too because I think this doesn't actually make that much noise on camera.
Yeah,
And I think you
actually, I
do.
could hear that pretty well.
Well, there you go. Maybe not. Maybe a whole room full of people does it.
And then, what are your predictions for the Aes Sedai arc for Lan, Moraine, Leandrin, that whole shebang?
Well, so it's hard to say, right? Because we've had like a small jailbreak of our two rivers folk who are sort of like meeting up all together outside of the White Tower.
Yeah,
Nynaeve is at least a little bit outside and like, let's go find our people, even though Moraine is like, I will find them when they show up. Although now Nynaeve has found people before Moraine with the help of what's our Ogier's friend's name?
his name is Loyal.
His name is Loyal.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Loial.
L-O-I. Doesn't matter. It's great. It's perfect. Yeah, so Matt's fully fucked, right? That's pretty obvious. He's in a bad way.
That's in a bad way.
Matt's in a
Do you
bad
want to?
way.
Do you want to just go through their little subplot right quick?
Sure.
Yeah. So they're walking. We get this fun little milestone in the old tongue.
Legolas is here. Legolas is gone.
They see Tarvalin. Tarvalin looks like
By a big old volcano, which I'm supposed to look at.
got a big volcano.
We got a Mount Doom situation in the back where the clouds over Mount Doom sort of reflect the way of Hyrule, right? Right now, Hyrule seems okay. I'd be willing to bet Hyrule is not going to be as good as things go forward.
That's a good guess.
Also, this city is too close to a volcano.
It's very close to a volcano.
It's too close.
Are you worried for it?
Yes. Look how close the city is to the volcano. Of course I'm worried for it. Look at the steam. Look at the steam at the top of the volcano.
Yeah.
Even if it's not actually bad, it's metaphorically extremely bad. Now, this city has been around for a long time, right? But here's the thing about volcanoes.
This city's been around for thousands of years.
Here's what we know about volcanoes, though. Sometimes
they
wait a long time and don't go off that much.
That's true.
But I do like Legolas here in the corner. We're getting extreme Legolas vibes.
Every time we see
from Rand.
Yeah. And just to give you a little bit more context on Tarvalin, here's a top-down view of the map. So there you go.
Okay, well, where's the volcano?
Well, based on how it's arrayed out here, I believe the volcano is somewhere People in the chat know this shit better than I do.
So this city, by the way, is female genitalia.
It is very much female genitalia.
Like explicitly.
Explicitly. It is the center of the Aes Sedai power, and Robert Jordan was a funny, funny man. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you could look at that and I mean, look at the city.
It's a vulva. It's
City's a vulva.
genitals. Whoa, mark that not safe for work. Yeah, I mean, it's a map. It's a map of a city.
Depends on where you work. You work in a hospital? You work in a
It's a
gynecologist's
map
office?
of a city.
It's
Anyway, okay, so they come here. They see the White Tower. Now you know what everyone's been talking about this whole time. And oh, there's an arrow mid left that points at Dragon Mount. Oh yeah, to Dragon Mount mid
Where is
left.
that? Oh, I see it.
Yep.
Oh, Dragon Mount's a volcano. That makes sense because it's a mountain that does fire like a dragon. Good job, Robert Jordan.
Yep.
You thought that out. Now, here's something that I didn't think about till now.
Okay.
What the White Tower is actually a couple towers.
It's a couple towers.
Look at
Yeah.
these smaller towers next to the White Tower.
Yeah. The little testes.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it, but it did occur to me too as I was looking at this particular image that seems to be like a city accepting of all genitalia, which we love in our fantasy.
Yeah, I mean,
I shouldn't have said female genitalia. This is specifically a vulva.
it's
city.
a vulva. It's a vulva city with a very feminine penis tower, and you gotta love
It's just a sexual place.
It's a sexual place
Which
because
we
it
know,
marks
'cause yeah.
yeah, it's the sexual place. It's the seat of power,
It's the
and
place of birth for the Aes Sedai.
yeah, so
So
they
it
walk
actually
around.
makes sense that it would look like a place of, you know, the anatomy that gives life.
Yes, all genitalia of all gendered varieties anywhere on the genitalia spectrum.
Now Matt has eyeshadow, which tells me he's becoming evil because
Oh,
we're getting some dark circles, and as we know, a smoky eye leads to dark magic.
that's a theory. And then we just get a little shot of the city.
It's fun. You know that Matt is in a bad way when Rand is like, "Hey, I just got a delicious Thai egg roll. Would
Yeah.
you like a bite of it? We have been traveling for months, and I just got an egg roll. Would you like some?" And Matt's
Nope.
like, "Actually, I'm mad and I'm evil and I don't want this delicious egg roll." And that's
Yeah.
how we all should know, like, oh, our boy's fully fucked.
That's how you know your boy's fully fucked. He's saying no to egg rolls.
Friends don't let friends say no to egg rolls.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing, as they walk into Tar Valon, we hear Rand say "blood and ashes," which the fan base has been fucking waiting for.
Is that like his thing?
It's not his thing. There's no Our World curses. There's a whole set of Wheel of Time curses that the show hasn't been using. Like they've had the characters just saying shit and fuck and whatever.
Blood and Ashes is pretty good. I mean, it's hard to deliver in a way. I mean, like, I'm trying to think of some really good, like, fantasy specific things that people say. Star Wars, like, what the, like, I feel like someone says like frack. Frack is one.
Fracking. That's
yeah, help me. What's
Firefly. Firefly, right?
Okay, yeah.
Firefly has a ton of it.
Firefly also like integrates Mandarin a lot
Yeah.
into its, which I think is very cool. And what global trends would sort of
blood and bloody ashes. Hopefully we'll get some fish guts, some mother's milk in a cup, some flaming goat kissers. There's all sorts of great ones. Oh, fracking is Battlestar Galactica, apparently.
Oh, it must be something else too, because I haven't seen Battlestar Galactica.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Everyone calm down.
Fantasy YouTuber, not a space YouTuber.
Listen, I have not seen Battlestar Galactica, so it's something else used it as well.
What's the one they say in Firefly? Because I know there's one that's like fracking.
They swear in Mandarin in Firefly.
They swear in Mandarin.
At least a little bit.
Okay.
I think.
I thought they had a whole. They have like a word they say a million times.
I'm sure they do. They all do. I bet. Anyway, I would be willing to bet there is like a lexicon of fantasy
Gorum.
words.
They say Gorum. That's what they say. Flaming son of a goat kisser. Oh shit, we've been canceled. I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah, this sucks. I'm sorry that I sunk your stream.
I've been low gained.
You got gentled.
I got
You got
gentled.
fantasy gentled.
There's a character later in the series who always says "fa," and I love her very much.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so this is the moment we've all been waiting for.
It's my boy.
Loyal the
Loyal.
Ogier. Yes.
Our librarian friend who has access to the White Tower.
Loyal, son of Arendt, son of Holland, is his full name. He is so good. Did you know Ogier have access to the White Tower grounds?
I did now because you just told me and you explained why you were able to sort of go where you just went.
Yeah, there's like this is his name, Loyal, son of Arendt, son of Holland. There is something in like the behind the scenes shots from this episode that indicates there might have been a deleted scene where we actually see Loyal, son of Arendt, son of Holland in the White Tower finding Nynaeve that did not make it into the final episode.
I mean, if so, they did a good job of being like, by the way, here's how I got here. Did you know?
Yeah. Did you know?
I thought it was good and honestly better than actually. I didn't need to see him go in and find it, but I did like the scene where we first meet him. It's like, oh, red hair. You're a word I've never heard before. What?
Oh yes.
So which is like
an Ironman who insists he's not an Ironman.
That's right. I couldn't understand the word he was saying because it was a fantasy word.
Right. Let me give you. Let's do a little fantasy word banner for you.
Great. Yeah, a red-haired guy who doesn't know why he's a red-haired guy. And I guess you're gonna be a bird sword warrior, and you just don't know about it yet.
Guess you're just gonna be a bird sword warrior. Loyal is like obviously you can tell a fan favorite character. How could he not be?
Yeah, he's the best.
He's always calling humans so hasty. And the Michael Kramer, who does the audiobooks, his Loyal voice is just the best fucking thing in the world.
Is it similar to the way that this actor's doing the role?
It's similar.
Okay.
It's not British. The audiobook readers are American, and so the characters don't have British accents.
Sure.
But I love him so much. Obviously, I don't think it's a spoiler to tell you he becomes a party member at some point.
I would hope so.
He's always saying, "But Rand," and I love it so much.
Yes. No, we love this boy.
Yes.
That's right. The bird sword capital of the world, baby.
The Aiel, the bird sword capital of the world. Yeah. I will tell you, Zach, because some people in chat are wanting me to tell you, you have heard this word before.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't remember where. And someone said it one time and it was in passing, and
someone said it one time in passing and you didn't hear it.
I mean, I'm sure I did hear it, but like it wasn't for me. It was for you, the readers of the book. For me, I'm clearly not supposed to know what the fuck that means yet because no one has told me anything.
What do you think? What do you think of the way Loyal looks?
I think it's great. I think it's like humanoid but magic, right? Like he clearly looks not super out of place walking through the city, but then when you really look at him, it's like, okay, it's got like a broader, flat nose. He's like physically huge. I think it's really cool design.
That's good. It's kind of a point of contention amongst the fandom. Obviously, any non-human character, and people imagine them in different ways.
Yeah.
The two main things that are missing from this depiction that I think people are a little sad about is, first of all, in the books, he has long tufted ears that are very emotive, which I hope they're just hidden behind that hair.
Well, I will tell you this, from a production standpoint, we're talking about doing the CG ears.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
That like move around. Not only is it a pain in the ass, like you're asking people to watch CG ears bounce around in a world where everything else about the character is like, yeah. We're talking about like a Jar Jar and ears going on.
That's
hopefully we'll be able to do them in a real way that like looks better, but
Rafe Judkins, the creator of the show, who is obviously watching the stream. Hello, Rafe. Thank you for joining us yet again.
Rafe, thank you for joining on Patreon. Continue.
Thank you for joining on Patreon. That's essentially what Rafe said. The other thing is Loyal is canonically like 9 to 10 feet tall, rather than just kind of like what he looks like here, like 7 feet tall.
Yeah, like picture the shot, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, how are we getting both those boys in this shot?
Yeah.
Can't be 9 to 10 feet tall. We're making TV here, right?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
We're gonna force perspective the whole thing. We don't have Peter Jackson money for this.
Yeah.
We have to, yeah. As a non-reader, this is what they look like, and it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I love the idea of big floppy emotive ears. I think it's cool. Would I love to see it? Yes. But oh yeah, he's clearly not the Jar Jar Binks of the Wheel of Time. By the way, a lot of people love Jar Jar Binks. Not me, but people do. I also don't have strong feelings one way or the other about.
I have no strong Star Wars feelings. Yes. Hello, Rafe. Everyone say hi to Rafe. Rafe, thank you for joining us in the chat.
Hi, Rafe.
And Rafe, thank you for joining us on patreon.com/Maidens of the Spear and subscribing and liking and commenting on this stream. Ogier are very cool. I like them a lot. This is not at all how I ever imagined Loyal. The first time I saw him, I was like, what is going on here? It has grown on me because the actor playing Loyal, I think, has nailed the character to perfection.
It doesn't look like the way that it looks in your head.
Right. But that's okay. Basically none of this does. So that's just how watching an adaptation works.
And how cut it. Yeah. It's not
Yeah. Articus says your perspective is great because it's amazing to hear the perspective of someone who isn't a reader but does understand TV production, and it makes them more comfortable about the choices the show made.
Yeah, it's tricky, right? Because like with an unlimited budget, we probably would do emotive floppy ears, and it's like it's the balance between that and the Harry Potter 1-2 problem. Like if you literally saw everything exactly the way it was described in the book, it leaves very little room for the creative team behind the design to like do stuff they are excited about, because they're not creating, they're just transcribing.
It is interesting that when you first started talking about him earlier in the stream, you described him as being like orc-like, but he's like a good orc. He's in the books, and I'm not sure how well this translated. Ogier look a lot more like Trollocs than I think Loyal does to the Trollocs in this show, because they're like the same size and they've got kind of muzzly features. And so when Rand draws his sword on him in the books, it's like, holy fuck, there's this 10-foot tall fucking Trolloc in this library.
Library Trolloc.
And how did that translate to you when Rand drew his sword? Were you like, that's a fair reaction in this moment? Or
no, I think he's showing his like backwoodsiness.
Okay.
Particularly the minute you hear this guy open his mouth.
Yeah.
Right. You're like, he's in a lot, like you're in a bookshop in a city, in a big you're in a bookshop in a big magic city that you've never been in before. I don't know the sort of like casualness.
Does anyone know which book cover he's on? Oh, is it The Great Hunt? Oh yeah, the book cover is weird.
Yeah, show me. Oh, I see those ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sort of yeah.
It looks kind of Nosferatu-y there.
Yeah, a little bat-like.
I
guess you could have done those with sort of like not being emotive. You could have done fantasy ears off the side, just like the book cover shows. I wonder if they were drawing on if they similarly did. Oh yeah, that's true. Book art is different than book canon.
Yeah, the book art for Daryl Sweet, as much as we love some of this book art, it is famously bad.
I mean, book art is ad companies, right? It's people being like, how do we get people to pick up and buy? Yeah, look at this. We got the ripped shirt. Is that for the first book? Is that for the Wheel of Time?
No. The first book.
Or Eye of the World, sorry.
Eye of the World.
Yes. We got a samurai.
Let me pull this down.
We got a big horse. We got a tiny horse.
We got a big horse and a tiny horse.
This cover means nothing to me. This is like, oh look, we're doing fantasy now. Oh, look, fantasy. Hey, y'all, it's fantasy.
Yes. I love that cover because is land 7 times bigger than Moraine on that cover? Yes. But I at least like the composition and the blue and the big moon.
It's pretty.
Some of it is just so bad.
Yeah. It is funny the way that those covers sort of influence how you view characters, though. I'm thinking specifically of like Harry Potter, like drew that little boy one time, and now we were all like, yeah, that's.
Does this make you want to read this book?
Absolutely not. What the hell am I looking at? This
You're
is
looking at
like
bunch of guys with mustaches
looking at maps. We're at book 11. We're not really trying to draw people into the series at this point. Like we've got who we've got, and that's fine.
Yeah. Anyway,
no one's like, ooh, what is this? What is this fantasy board meeting about?
Yeah,
Let me jump back to book 1 until I can get back up to this place where orcs where dwarves go over like building permits.
Yeah. It's wild, the book covers. But anyway, okay, so Loyal's got these sausagey fingers that make me uncomfortable, but he is always described as having sausage-like fingers. And
I know some people with sausage like it just means they have big hands.
Yeah.
Comes with the territory. Picture your fingers. Now make them bigger. They're sausagey now.
Boom. You got it. Rand is like, I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Bird sword. Look at it. There's a bird on the outside of the sword too.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that before. Because it's on the blade, isn't it?
It's on the blade, but it's also on the scabbard.
It's also on the scabbard, bird sword.
That bird scabbard warrior. Yeah, it's the thing, like city folk when they see Ogier in the books, they're like, okay, it's an Ogier. And then small town people are like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, that was clear in this sort of moment.
Yeah.
And also like not scary. Like I thought that the actor playing Loyal was like did not appear to be threatened at all by the sword being out. And that made me, the viewer, be like, oh, okay, Rand's being an idiot. He's probably gonna put his sword away in a second.
Yeah. Then we get creepy laughy Logain
in the head of Matt.
Who
is well, yeah, I mean Logain is obviously the cautionary tale for Matt. And the reason that Matt's like, don't let them do this, like kill me before it gets this far.
Yeah. So that happens, and then Matt's like, if it happens, if it's one of us, blah 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 blah. And he's very sad. Then Nynaeve comes, and Nynaeve runs to Matt, and then Matt has one like moment of happiness where he's like, Nynaeve, you're alive. And then he's
don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
I'm evil.
Gollum.
Okay, go sleep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to kill him later. He's bad.
What did you think of the scene where Rand tells Nynaeve, I think he can channel, and Nynaeve's like, we're not telling the Aes Sedai. We're Two Rivers folk.
Yeah, I don't know what the sort of exit strategy is there, Nynaeve. Like, because you just tried to like go talk to the guy, and he basically almost bit your hand off. So I get not wanting to tell the Aes Sedai, right? I believe that because it's like, well, they're gonna gentle him. But like, what is the other option?
What's the other option?
Because this book has not sort of shown us another way society can deal with this. I guess that's probably episode 6. Like if we're not taking him to the Aes Sedai, that means we're not meeting up with the Aes Sedai. Because the second the Aes Sedai see him, they're gonna be like, okay, bad. But Moiraine's also gotta know that what's her face that Nynaeve snuck out.
Okay, I've been a very public critic of Loyal's hands. So thank you, Boggy. I'm glad.
Look at his beautiful hands.
Oh God. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I don't really know what the exit strategy Nynaeve has in mind there is.
It's not gonna go well. I mean, Matt, I can tell you this right now. Matt's journey is about to get bad.
Yeah. It's brutal. So Zach, that's like the end of the episode. We talked about it. It ends with the funeral. It starts with the funeral of Karenni. It ends with the funeral of Stepan. So,
two funerals and a wolf party.
2 funerals and a wolf party is actually the official name of the episode.
That's what I would have called it. Yeah, 2 funerals and a wolf party.
Yeah. How would you grade this episode and like relative to the other episodes?
I liked it. I know that this is the highest rated episode for you.
This one?
Well, at least you said that according to your tweet.
No. This is 3. Episode 4 was my highest rated
I
episode.
thought you give this one a 9.
I gave episode 4 a 9. I
Oh,
gave
would you
this
give this
one
one?
an 8.
I think I'm more or less with you. I did not like this as much as the last episode, mostly because the torture stuff is not fun for me to watch, but I did really like it. I like, people meeting up and coming together, and it feels like stuff is actually starting to like because if you ask me what the general thrust of this show is right now, it's sort of hard to say because I know that we're fighting the we haven't seen Trollocs for episodes now. So in theory, they're still out there like doing their thing, biding their time, but we're getting to like much smaller conflicts. I have to imagine the Dark one's gonna like rear his head, which I think is probably the right way to pace a show. Because if Trollocs are attacking every episode, I'm kind of like, I don't actually need to see that. That's boring.
I don't know what happens next episode because I avoid all of the plot summaries. So I don't know what's going to happen next episode.
Oh yeah, no,
specifically
because I have no idea.
I do know that Brandon Sanderson has said, like, if there's one 10 out of 10 episode in this season based on the scripts I got to read, it's episode 6.
That's the next one.
So I'm very excited for
it. That's really cool. I mean, for me, my favorite part of like basically any fantasy show is when people go to magic college or sword college and like the part of the hero's journey where people are like harnessing their shit for like the first time. And like
I'm so hoping that we'll see Lan teach Rand how to use his bird sword.
Yeah.
And to like I love a fucking 80s action movie montage training scene.
Give it to me.
I want it.
I want a whole movie. I mean, like that's
I want 80s synth old tongue pop. Tovies Andy, Tovies again. I'm excited.
Are you singing in the language of the show?
A little bit.
Oh, incredible.
And Zach, I'm going to do 2 more sections with you if you have the time to hang around for just a bit. But people in the chat, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you can help us out, you can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/minions of the spear. Or if you want another way of giving us money for this, what you can do is use a super chat and submit a question for Zach, because we're about to do our Ask the Non-Reader Question segment. Here's the thing. No, you don't have to pay to ask Zach a question. You can also ask questions, but using a super chat will guarantee that I ask that question. Unless it's like horrendously spoilerific, in which case I will not ask.
Just be cool. Just be cool. Be cool.
But so start prepping those questions for Zach. But while you get those ready, Zach, what are your predictions going forward for Rand, Matt, Perrin, Egwene, Nynaeve, the whole gang? Who do you think is the dragon right now? Because last time I think your ranking was it Egwene then Nynaeve?
It was one of the two. Which is still where I am at. It's one of the two, and my guess is still Egwene. I think Nynaeve is like super powerful, but we specifically haven't seen. Well, I guess we kind of just did. We just saw Egwene in a moment of like terror manage to throw like a little fireball.
Well, she's without training, and
she's without training, and also I don't think the dragon is heal specific. If I had to cast the dragon as to like what the dragon's main thing is, probably not healing. I think that's what I'm most looking forward to, is that sort of thing, but I don't think we're there yet, and I don't think we're at magical college yet. I think that next she did burn the rope. That's true.
Wait, did you ever play that game you have to burn the rope?
Burn the rope. I think that like the iOS, like the mobile game.
No. There's that game. No, this was like a Flash game. There's a Flash game called Burn the Rope.
I did not.
It's a game that takes 10 seconds to win. There's a giant boss you have to fight. You can throw axes or do whatever you want. None of it damages him. The only way to kill him is to burn the rope that holds up the chandelier above his head.
The chandelier falls and he dies.
You win in 10 seconds, and then there's like a 9-minute long music video that plays congratulating you for burning the rope.
That's art. That's game art.
I love it so much. Anyway, okay.
Is the song like "Burn the Rope"? Like you
It's like,
burned the rope?
congratulations, you managed to beat that boss, you see, the grinning colossus. You're the hero we all wish we could be.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to stop because I am gonna go watch this now.
It's fantastic.
Okay, yeah.
I love it so much. It's stuck in my head constantly. But okay,
I
so
think the next
Dwayne,
episode is. Here's what I think is gonna happen. I think the Two Rivers folk are finally all gonna meet up, and I think they're gonna try to not be under the radar of the Aja, which I think
okay,
is a bad move, but I do think it's what they're going to do next. They're going to try to like Two Rivers their way out of this situation, maybe even out of the city. Although I don't know why. That's like where it going. Okay, I think we're about to have internal Two Rivers conflict as to where we go next and what we
yeah,
do from here and what we do with Matt. Um, I think Moraine probably is going to like secretly be watching the whole thing the whole fucking time. And then it feels like probably time for Trollocs to show back up, unfortunately, to be
yeah.
reminded of like the greater global threats.
Well,
And
speaking
hope
of
Mm.
our Charlocky friends, we do have a question for you from Roland Buis. Rank from biggest to smallest. Who you think is like the bigger bad to smallest bad? So,
Okay. There aren't too many.
we got Trollocs, we got Fades, we got Human Dark Friends, we got the Fire Ghost from the Dreams, and we got White Cloaks.
Okay, I think Fire Ghost from the Dreams is the most literal personification of like the Dark One or whatever. So Fire Ghost is my number one. Under them, I would say Fades. Fades feel like generals in the Trolloc army. Trollocs number three. Dark Friends are like traitors, but there don't seem to be that many of them. They're sort of informers. So Dark Friends number four. Basically, anyone under the general pantheon of like the Dark One is probably
Yeah,
the big bad. Then
yeah.
after that, we get like your White Cloaks, your sort of like
Your more political bads.
yeah, the trials of the enemies of man who are also man. But I would also be willing to bet that there's a couple factions that we haven't even heard of yet that are
For
sort of
sure.
like doing their thing.
Yeah.
That's sort of my ranking. Oh, except maybe number 111 is dishonesty among friends, not telling each
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
going on, is the main villain of the story.
I would say that,
Lies are the main. Lies are were the enemy all along in our
yeah,
hearts.
it turns out if you just like trust and communicate with your friends, you can accomplish a lot.
And at some point, the Aja knew that, which is why the Aes Sedai have a rule about
Yeah.
lying.
Yeah. I agree. Okay, so we have another question for you, Zach. Where do you think the Leandra and Moraine Aes Sedai power play arc is going?
The Leandra and Moraine Aes Sedai power player. Okay, well, clearly there's people that want Moraine to like challenge her mom, not her mom, her
They call
old.
her the mother. Her name is
It's her teacher lady, right? It's
the
whoever like
Amerlin seat is the head of the Aes Sedai.
yeah.
She's the Pope, and the title for her is they call her mother.
And we've basically already been told that like whatever you thought about them when you left, they're different now. By the way, are the Aes Sedai like particularly long lived?
Yes.
Because they're magical, they live like a long time.
Basically, the stronger you are in the power, the longer you live. So the very strongest Aes Sedai can live up to like 800 years.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know that they've been explicit about that yet, but I'm
No.
like, you get the vibe that like at some point Moraine's gonna be like, by the way, I'm 500 years old. Is that true of warders as well?
No. Warders have basically normal human lifespans.
Okay, well that's shitty, but all right.
Yeah.
Um
That's why Stepan's like, you're not supposed to die before your Aes Sedai.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, though, that's almost an argument for why Moraine actually isn't that old. Because if she was, she would have probably lost a warder just due to old age already.
I mean, I'm happy to tell you how old she is because I
Don't
don't
tell
think
me
it's a
that.
secret.
I want to figure it out.
Okay.
But either, I guess there's the other way too, though, right? There's the like she has lost a warder. She knows how hard it is, and that's why she is one platonic with Lan, and two terrified of losing him because there's like someone in her past that she She's done this already, and it sucks.
Yeah, the Aes Sedai talk a lot about how hard it is to have any sort of romantic relationships, like
with people that aren't other Aes Sedai. Do Aes Sedai have romantic relationships with each other? It seems like
sometimes
they
they do.
want
Yeah,
to if they're the
they
red
do.
one.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
acceptable. It's not like a taboo or anything.
All right.
Yeah.
But to answer the question, Moraine is clearly disinterested in the what seat?
Amerlin.
The Amerlin seat.
Let me give you a little banner there. The old fantasy spelling banner.
Welcome our old friend spelling banner, where we get to see the Amerlin seat. The Amy Lynn seat.
Yeah, it just as a note, this is one of those things. Robert Jordan really liked to play with this idea that like this is our far future, but it's also our past and inspires a lot of our own myths. So you might think
it's inspired by a woman he knew named Amy Arlen.
So it's inspired by Amy Arlen. No, so like our legend of Merlin might be a distant memory of the Amerlin seats of yore.
Oh,
So
okay.
that kind of idea.
A Merlin seat.
Mm-hmm.
So Merlin's chair. Whoever gets to sit in Merlin's chair. Moraine clearly doesn't want to. I don't think. The only thing that I would think would make her stick around is the training of Nynaeve and Egwene. Like that would be a reason for her to like make sure that they don't get absolutely screwed. But I still think that likely she is going to bounce back out of this place again, because I don't think she doesn't seem to want to stick around in the White Tower.
Yeah. Did you catch there was a line this is someone's question they're asking in episode 4 Steppen tells Lan like, oh, the Amerlin is pretty mad at you and Moraine right now.
Oh no, I missed that. Or when I heard it, I didn't understand what it meant.
Yeah.
Have they said why?
The implication
is they haven't been back in so long.
Yeah, Moraine's just been...
Well, Moraine's a spy. She's doing her thing. Leave her alone. She's good at her job.
Yeah.
None of you stopped the Trolloc invasion in Two Rivers, so maybe get off her ass.
Right. True. Okay, another question for you, Zach. Who would win in a fight? Birdsword Warrior to be Rand, Wolf Daddy Perrin, or Matt with whatever the fuck's going on with him?
Well, not Matt. Matt's a mess. I mean, who's the most likely to start the fight is Matt. Absolutely. But Rand carries weapons around a lot. It was not particularly clear to me that Rand had actually been trained in any sort of combat, though. Whereas Perrin looks like he has been, just by virtue of like being a blacksmith. Perrin's got wolf powers that he doesn't understand. I mean, like that's weird though, because like that presupposes that Rand and Perrin are fighting each other. So here's what I'll say: Matt is a psychopath and it would kill someone, but it would be like a sleep assassination and a straight up fight. Yes, that's true. I think at this point, I think Perrin kills Rand. I think ultimately Rand kills Perrin, but at this point in the story, I think Perrin kills Rand. Although
you think birdsword powers are better than wolf powers?
No, I just think that everything about this story is telling me that Rand is the hero. And if Rand is the hero and is simultaneously not as good at fighting as the other people that are not the hero, then I truly don't understand what Rand brings to the table.
Well, it's an ensemble story. Like they're all heroes, right?
Yes, but they're not all getting the hero shots that Rand is getting. We're not all, Rand can use a bow. That's true. I mean, like, if we're talking of, it's so tricky, right? When we say, like, who would win at a fight, what the fight is such a complicating factor.
Right. Of
like,
course.
Are they standing in front of each other with weapons and then someone says go? Or is it like they're in two different buildings and someone says, like, you have 24 hours to kill the other person?
Jesus.
Because those are different fights.
Those are different fights.
But yeah.
Yes.
Wow. The real dragon is the volcano or the friend we made along the way.
You mean the volcano called Dragon Mount?
Well, I'm hoping that there's a real dragon inside that volcano, and that's why we have volcanoes. I know it's just a volcano, but I want it to be like it's called Dragon Mount because a dragon lives there. It's not. It's called Dragon Mount because it's a mountain that breathes fire. But that also sort of that implies the existence of dragons in this world. So we better see a dragon. Because unless are there I was about to ask a very stupid question. I was about to be like, are there dragons in Lord of the Rings? Yes, there very famously are. they're mostly in The Hobbit, but yes, they do exist.
Do you want me to tell you whether dragons exist in the Wheel of Time?
I mean, they do. There's a dragon mount. Will we see them? Who knows? But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want you to tell me. Let me keep my dragon hopes alive.
You don't want me to tell
even
you.
Though there are none. Like, let me keep my dragon hopes alive.
I won't tell you about the dragons. Well, I'm looking for questions. Do you think Nynaeve or Egwene will become a student in the White Tower?
Yeah. I mean, Egwene definitely, Nynaeve maybe. My guess is both, to be totally honest. Unless one of them dies prematurely.
Unless one of them dies, yeah.
But Egwene is in. Like, Egwene is fully in. Like, that the next scene that we're going to see, if Egwene makes it into the city, which I hope she does, is going to be like, well, I'm here. I'm going to go to White Tower. And everyone else in Two Rivers being like, don't do that. And she's going to be like, why? And me as the viewer is also going to be like, yeah, why? Why not?
Why not
These
go learn
people
magic?
have been like, it is the weird sort of thing where it's like the heroes are constantly trying to return in their heads to the simpler time, right?
Yeah.
But just because we haven't seen Trollocs attack this city doesn't mean they're not out there anymore. They've just like conveniently haven't seen them in a month. A month? Yeah. What have the Trollocs been up to for a month?
Yeah.
Didn't take them a month to cross that river.
Nah, it didn't. It's unusual that the Trollocs were there in the first place.
Oh, we're not supposed to see them till later. Okay.
No, not book-wise. Like in the books, the Trollocs attack the Two Rivers, but the Trollocs live in a part of the world called the Blight, which is very far north, and they haven't been seen. Like most people in this part of the world don't even believe they exist
because they've been hiding.
They've been hiding in
their secret caves.
They hide in their secret caves with Kjorn the Sniffer.
They sniff them out. I will find them.
They do battle with the Borderlanders, who are the countries that are on the border of the Blight, and so far the Trollocs haven't really been able to break through.
Great job, Borderlanders.
Yeah. So when they show up at the Two Rivers, Moraine is like, "What the fuck is going on here? How did they get here?"
Means stuff's wheels turning, y'all.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Okay. Well, let's see. Last chance for a couple questions. Do you expect hero or anti-hero arcs from the main characters?
Well, I mean, the main candidate for anti-hero is very obviously Matt, although I truly don't know how long he is going to survive. But if he gets out, because like the next thing that would happen would be like the Aes Sedai hunting Matt, because Matt said, because that's their whole thing. If you're a red Aes Sedai, it's like, oh, there's a Matt, we all hunt that Matt.
Yeah, hunt that Matt.
But anti-hero arcs, yeah, probably at some point. Sure would be interesting. I mean, like, it's tricky, right? There are so many books. So, like, you would think that at some point, all of them have to go through an anti-hero arc at some point, because they can't just hero all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you run out of stuff to do character-wise after this many books, or you kill people. So, you know, you die or you go anti. Like, that's that old saying about like heroes. Like, if you're a hero, if you're a hero long enough, you become a villain. It just has to happen from a narrative perspective, because you can only hero for so long until something bad happens.
Yeah, that's why so many faces turn heel in the world of professional wrestling.
And we love professional wrestling, and we know a lot about it.
And a few people have asked this, but let me find who asked it first.
Where can you buy my hat? Yeah, obviously it's the Pushing Instagram store.
Oh, wait. No, where is she? Oh, there she is.
That's a good Pushing. What have I got? I've got Stegosaurus Pushing.
Oh, hell yeah.
And there's another one too. I have a T-Rex one. Boink.
Yes, a few people have asked this question, Zach, while you're getting your other Pusheen, but I will ask Roland's version because Roland joined our Patreon today, and we love Roland very much.
Good job, Roland.
Do you have a projection for where the season is going and what you think the big climax of this season will be? So there's only 3 more. There's 3 episodes left.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, Amazon only gave them 8 episodes. They're like, we're going to spend all this money, but you're only going to get 8 episodes a season.
Well, they're like an hour each, right?
Yeah.
So, like in the context,
I know it's like a Lord of the Rings trilogy.
well, it's a lot of time.
Yeah.
8 hours of content is like 2 3-hour movies back to back, and then another 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
It's more than the Avengers finale for both movies. Oof, I have no idea. I mean, like, it's clearly not the confrontation with the Dark One, right? Like, we're not there yet, momentum wise. It also doesn't feel like it's a confrontation with the White Cloaks because they're not big enough. So logic sort of dictates that the way that this season ends is with our 4 heroes going their separate ways, in a manner of speaking. Like, someone probably is revealed. There's like 2 episodes left.
There's 3.
Oh, okay. I think there's probably a Trolloc attack, a big one, at where people have to like choose sides and do their thing. I think that I don't think you could take this city early on in the war unless you made the volcano blow up. Unless you blow it up with a volcano. I think that this is going to be less of a huge climactic battle end of season, although it's a fantasy series. Could they even get away with that? Probably not. No, I think there's going to be a Trolloc attack. I think it's going to scatter our heroes to the 4 winds. I think that some of them are going to go to Magic College. I think some of them are going to go to Sword College. Some of them are going to go off on independent wolf study. And some of them are going to, and Matt's going to join the forces of evil. So
Matt becomes a dark friend.
Yeah. Or just like, because I guess we actually do see a way out for men who channel that isn't getting gentled by the Aes Sedai, and it's like, yeah, be the Dragon Reborn, be like the false dragon, like go fucking harness your shit and get wild with it. That's my prediction. Is that specific enough?
I think that's a pretty good prediction.
All right.
I mean, you think the Aes Sedai, if the Dragon Reborn were a man, you think the Aes Sedai would not cancel him?
Not if it's Matt. Matt is cancelable. Matt is exhibiting cancelable behavior.
Yeah.
I don't think that's Dragon Reborn behavior. I think that's just man who weaves behavior. I don't think Matt is the Dragon Reborn. I think Matt is just like Matt is touching the source and we're supposed to see Matt as Logain, as a Logain story.
Logain to be.
Yeah, Rand goes to Birdsword College. Egwene goes to Magic College. Nynaeve, right now I'm going to say doesn't go to Magic College, but maybe gets dragged back to Magic College. And Perrin goes to Independent Wolf Study.
Perrin goes to Independent Wolf Studies.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good. I like those guesses. We'll
That's
see how they pan out.
I think there's a Trolloc attack somewhere. That's my
I'm really pumped to see episode 6. I don't know what's going to happen, but I am hopeful we get to meet the Amaryllis seat, and I'm excited for that because she's cool. I like that character a lot, and I don't know what else is gonna happen, but
We
Brandon
know that,
Sanderson said it's a 10 out of 10.
and
So
isn't that exciting? None of us do. Let's
what's
live in
really
this moment of not knowing for now, because next week we'll know.
yeah, it's really interesting because for like all the reviewers, all the review screeners that they sent out only went up to episode 6.
They sent them the first 6 episodes for reviews.
Yeah.
That's cool. That means they have leakable stuff in 7 and 8
Yeah, I
that
think
they
so.
didn't want to risk.
Yeah.
But I think that's smart too, because I think that 1 is one of the weaker episodes of the show, if not the
Oh, I think
weakest.
it's the worst
I
episode.
mean, it's a pilot. It's so hard.
It's really
There's
hard.
so much to do in a
Yeah.
pilot.
I'm obviously Birdsword College is divided into different bird-based houses. That's not even a
Yeah,
question, Chris.
there's Heron School, there's Penguin School.
Yeah. I practice the art of the penguin.
Yeah, me too.
Um,
I mean, Heron is classic, but
Heron is classic. You can't go wrong with Heron.
I am now going to have you do, Sarah, realize that I am now going to have to run a full D&D campaign based around the Birdsword College, right?
Will you run it on our channel and let me play?
Yeah, sure. We can do it here.
Hell yeah.
We'll get Ross, we'll get Mary Lou.
That
We'll
would
do.
honestly, Zach, I would be so happy.
Let's do it. Yeah, this will be our extremely apocryphal Wheel of Time Dungeons and Dragons mod, run by someone that does not know Wheel of Time stuff.
We'll get Vic too.
Ross,
Mary
we'll
Lou,
get
Vic,
Vic
me.
too.
It's perfect.
And we'll just constantly be breaking things within the world of Wheel of Time and have people screaming at us about that's
awesome.
not how the Yellow Aja work.
Yeah, so don't be sad when the season ends. You will be able to watch Birdsword Warriors, the official Wheel of Time role-playing campaign.
That's right. Brought to you by D&D Beyond. They just don't know it yet.
D&D Beyond and Amazon Prime Video collaborating to bring you Birdsword Warrior School, Birdsword College, the D&D campaign. Okay. Well, I think that's all I got for you, Zach. But before I let you go, Mary Lou and I usually do a little patron member rap. We'll be like, Babs, Ash, back that ass up. Do you wanna rap our patrons for us?
Well, full disclosure, I am losing my voice. I did a 4-hour
Okay.
VO session
Oh
yesterday.
fuck! Let me do it.
No. I'll trade off with you, even though the delay makes it basically impossible. But yes, I'll jump in.
Okay. Wait, do you want me to start then? All right, well, I'll start. We got Babs, Ash, back that ass up. Natalie McCartney, Paige Smith.
We got Balance Gaming. We got Catherine Fink. We got Mistress Dovey. Katie, what you think?
We got DES. We got Marissa Swank. We got Roland Boyce. Katie, what you think?
We got Boggy. Also, Too Much Food. Arrow, Pashut, KG, thank you.
Thank you all so much, our lovely patrons. This has been...
The great part about rapping is you just say their names and then do one rhyme at the end.
Yeah, it's great.
That's actually how rapping works.
And if you want to be a part of our patron raps in the forward, in the future, join our Patreon, and you can be on cool videos like this. Anyway, that's the high quality content you can expect from this channel. And Zach, I've had a really good time talking to you today.
I've had a really good time talking to you, Sarah. I always have a really good time.
I always have a really good time talking to you too. I love hearing your thoughts on this show because like it's hard with so much baggage going into it to like understand, to even project what you're getting out of it.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
mean,
always
probably, I'm
surprised.
going to be honest, not as much. I mean, I think that as someone who has watched a series based on a book that I like hold dearly, there's nothing quite like the joy of seeing something you had in your head, even if it's like a different way, like pop up and be like, oh, cool. This is how they did that. I know what this is. That's super exciting. I'm just sort of watching a fantasy series that I enjoy.
That's great. And if you enjoy watching this stream, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, do all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for joining us, Zach. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone in the comments. You can find Zach on Twitter at Zach Reino. And you can also find Zach doing all sorts of incredible things with Baby Wants Candy and Off Book and writing movies and doing stuff with Baking It and Maya Rudolph and Andy Samberg now. Zach. Zach is a talent. Zach was also one of my first musical improv coaches, and we love him very much here.
How do you coach people that already know what they're doing? You can't.
This has been Maidens of the Spear, where we talk about the Wheel of Time. And what else do we do, Zach?
We have a really great time.
We have a really great time. You can find us on Twitch and Patreon and YouTube, Maidens of the Spear. You can find me on Twitter at Spear Maidens. Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you have a really good rest of your day.